Chapter 1723. Chapter 1728, Sending Flowers, It's Jiangwen and Uncle An. Meng Yao frowned. Dad couldn't reject them, they're our old neighbors, so, Jiangwen. Housen wants to treat you to a meal after being humiliated in the noble house meeting. They're not trying to get close to Shield Bro, are they? Yushu had seen Housen leave the noble house meeting, so she found it strange that Housen was treating them to a meal all of a sudden. I'm not sure about that, Dad said that they're just business partners and old friends, they didn't mention anything else. Meng Yao shook her head. Doesn't matter, let's go check it out tonight. Lin Yi said. If it's just a meal, then we'll eat. As for other things, we'll see. Soon, Peng Zhan called again, confirming the restaurant. It was a comprehensive buffet restaurant with different cuisines from different countries. Of course, the price wasn't cheap. At 5 at night, Lin Yi drove Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun to the restaurant they agreed on. They parked the car and the four entered the restaurant. And Mingyue, Jiangwen, and Peng Zhan were already there, waiting at the resting area on the first floor. Peng Zhan waved his hand when he saw Lin Yi and the others. Yao Yao, you've gotten prettier in a few days. Jiangwen smiled as he took out a bouquet of flowers from somewhere and handed it to Meng Yao. Really? I haven't been resting well these past few days, and I don't look well. You should get a pair of glasses. Meng Yao didn't care at all for Jiangwen's praises, nor did she care about the flowers. Jiangwen was a little awkward, he didn't know why Meng Yao didn't like him. Weren't they getting along well when they were kids? Why did they become so distant after they grew up? He didn't seem to understand Meng Yao at all. In fact, if he looked at it from another angle, he didn't understand Meng Yao, but Meng Yao didn't understand him either. How could Meng Yao know what he was doing in the dark? Ha, Yao Yao, you really know how to joke around. But even if you don't look well, you're still pretty. Jiangwen smiled as he raised the flowers in his hand. Fresh flowers with a beauty, for you. Give it to Lin Yi. Meng Yao didn't want to accept the flowers. Ah. Jiangwen paused. He wasn't gay, so why would he give the flowers to Lin Yi? But before he could react, the flower in Jiangwen's hand was already in Lin Yi's. Lin Yi divided the flowers into 3 portions and gave them to Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu. For you guys. Thank you. Meng Yao happily accepted the flowers from Lin Yi, and Tang Yun and Yushu happily accepted them as well. Jiangwen gritted his teeth in anger, but there was nothing he could do. Let's go, I heard that Shu wants to eat steak, so I booked this buffet restaurant. The steak here is very authentic, and there are many snacks from all over the world. When they entered the restaurant, Jiangwen swiped his card. There was a total of 7 people eating, and it cost more than 20,000 yuan. The cost here wasn't low, and it wasn't lower than those high-class hotels. And that didn't include the drinks. If they wanted red wine, they would have to pay separately. The restaurant was very big, and there weren't many customers. The environment was very elegant, and there were small booths and private rooms. There was even a bar counter for customers to choose from. Old friend, we've been doing business together for a long time, but it's been a long time since we sat down and drank together like this. And Mingyue smiled. Let's sit at a table, and let the kids sit at another table. We won't disturb each other. Housen's actions this time surprised Lin Yi. The two didn't seem to have any awkwardness like they did at the noble house meeting. It was as if the noble house title didn't mean anything to Housen, and they really did treat Peng Zhan this time to reminisce about the past. After all, the father and son didn't have the slightest intention of getting on Lin Yi's good side. This made Lin Yi sigh in relief, but at the same time, he was confused. Lin Yi was afraid that An Mingyue would ask Peng Zhan for them to join the practitioners' union. If Peng Zhan really did ask, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to reject him. But now, that worry was gone. But the two's actions made Lin Yi feel strange. Could it be that Mingyue and Jiang Wen really didn't care about the noble house title? Or did they have something else to rely on? As he was thinking, Jiang Wen smiled at everyone. Let's sit here, don't disturb the elders. With that, Jiang Wen pointed at a rather large open booth not too far away. This booth was for 6 people, meaning that only 3 people could sit in a row. Jiang Wen's arrangement meant that he wanted to sit next to Meng Yao. After all, Lin Yi and Tang Yun were a couple, and they couldn't be separated. Between Meng Yao and Yushu, one had to sit next to him. But as far as he was concerned, Yushu would either sit next to Lin Yi or Meng Yao. There was no way she would sit alone next to him. Meng Yao, naturally, understood what Jiang Wen was thinking. But in this restaurant, it was either a 4 or 6 person table. If there were more people, they would have to go to a small room. Peng Zhan and Mingyue weren't with them, so it wasn't appropriate for them to go to a private room. Hence, a 6-person booth was the best choice. But when they got close to the booth, Meng Yao said, "We girls can sit on one side. You guys can sit on the other side." Lin Yi didn't mind, but Jiang Wen was pissed. It took him so much effort to come up with such a good idea, and it was ruined just like that. But he couldn't say no right now. It'd look like he had bad intentions if he did. "Sure, it doesn't matter where we sit. The most important thing is to eat. The food here is good, and there are snacks from all over the world. They're all very authentic. I've been here once, so let me be your guide," Jiang Wen said as he picked up his plate like a gentleman. "Jiang Wen, your house and doesn't seem to be affected?" Lin Yi couldn't help but ask. Jiang Wen gave him a very strange feeling. House Kong and whatnot wanted to join the ranks of the noble houses, but Housen didn't seem to have that intention at all. Lin Yi, that's a different thing. We might have some conflicts and misunderstandings, but I'm the host right now. I'm treating Yao Yao's family to a meal. Give me some face, and let's not talk about this for now," Jiang Wen said with a carefree smile. #target =_. Chapter 1724. You too. But Jiang Wen moved closer to Lin Yi and lowered his voice. In fact, noble houses and whatnot don't really have much use for us, and our business is half black and half white, and keeping a low profile is the right thing to do. Conflict? Misunderstanding? I almost lost my kidney. Lin Yi said expressionlessly as he looked at Jiang Wen. I'm a victim too, I lost a kidney too. Jiang Wen smiled bitterly. You can't blame me. Lin Yi smiled faintly and didn't say anything else. Everyone knew what was going on, but Lin Yi had offended too many powers, and he didn't want to go against Jiang Wen right now. Otherwise, Lin Yi wouldn't have come to this dinner. Jiang Wen's firewolves were something that even Faubert didn't want to talk about. Evidently, they had a very strong background. Lin Yi would be an idiot to mess with a super gang like that. The group brought their plates to the buffet area. Since it was a buffet, they could choose how much they wanted to eat and what they wanted to eat. Jiang Wen started introducing the food along the way. This is the Korean cuisine area. Yao Yao, what do you want to eat? I'll get it for you. With that, Jiang Wen picked up a few pieces of Korean barbecued meat and put it on Meng Yao's plate. I don't want it, it's too oily. Meng Yao quickly moved her plate to the side, making Jiang Wen feel a little awkward. But since he'd already picked it up, he couldn't just put it back. But Jiang Wen didn't give up. He took 2 steps forward. There's Korean codfish here, it's not bad, I don't want it, it's too spicy. Meng Yao shook her head. Jiang Wen put the codfish back on his plate. This beef is not bad, do you want to try it? Jiang Wen didn't want to give up. I don't want it. Meng Yao didn't want to explain. Jiang Wen put the beef tenderloin back on his plate. And so, Jiang Wen's plates piled up into a small mountain on the way, and he didn't find anything that suited Meng Yao's taste. He had no choice but to pass the plate back to the waiter and get a new plate. What Jiang Wen didn't recommend, on the other hand, was something Meng Yao randomly placed on her plate, making Jiang Wen regret his decision. It seemed that Meng Yao's taste was quite unique. After a moment of regret, Jiang Wen decided that he'd ask Meng Yao once every time it was a dish, but she'd always reject him. More and more dishes piled up on his plate, filling up 3 to 4 plates in one go. He'd asked the waiter to send them back a couple of times, but the waiter was still filling them up. But later on, Jiang Wen learned his lesson. He'd ask first, and if Meng Yao didn't want it, he wouldn't take it. But if Meng Yao wanted to eat it, she'd take it herself. Jiang Wen didn't even need to do anything. Jiang Wen didn't know what to do, so he continued asking. But Meng Yao stopped eating again. But Jiang Wen was comforted by the fact that Shu was helping him a little, or he'd have to change a couple more plates. This was the first time he felt that Yushu was such a good friend. After a turn, they came to the dessert area, and Jiang Wen's eyes lit up. He found something that could improve his relationship with Meng Yao. Jiang Wen quickly ran to a dessert stall and picked up a dessert, handing it to Meng Yao. "Yao Yao, this is one of the specialties here. It's a very popular snack on the internet, what's this?" Meng Yao frowned. It was quite scary. The thing in Jiang Wen's hand looked like a body part. "It's called Condor Shao, it's very famous. Why don't you try it?" Jiang Wen explained evilly. Doesn't it look like a body part? "I don't want it, take it away." Meng Yao glared at Jiang Wen. She didn't know what this guy was doing. What was he doing with this? Wasn't he just ruining her appetite? Jiang Wen didn't think that he'd make things worse. Wasn't this Meng Yao a little too innocent? The last time Jiang Wen came, he'd come with Tai Zhao and some other girls, and those girls had been fighting over the food, laughing and joking with Tai Zhao and Jiang Wen. Why was it that the effect was completely different now that it was someone else? "Shu, do you want it?" Jiang Wen asked awkwardly. "Oh, I'll try it." Yushu thought that this thing was quite fun, but she didn't know if it tasted good. Jiang Wen passed the Condor Shao to Shu as if a heavy burden had been lifted off his shoulders. Shu didn't hold back and took a bite. Meng Yao felt her face blushing. This Shu really dared to eat anything. "Is it good?" Jiang Wen asked. He'd wanted to ask Meng Yao that question so that the two of them could flirt a bit more, but Yushu had already eaten him up. Jiang Wen wasn't interested anymore, so he just asked a question symbolically. "It's alright, but it's not as good as Shield Bros." Yushu said. "Ah." Jiang Wen paused, and Lin Yi almost tripped over as well. Tang Yun, on the other hand, looked at Lin Yi suspiciously. "Shu, you've eaten Lin Yi's food before?" Meng Yao felt that this was getting out of hand. How could the insensitive Yushu say something like that in front of everyone? "I have." Yushu nodded with a straight face. "Ahem." Lin Yi jumped as he looked at Meng Yao and Tang Yun, who were looking at him suspiciously. He quickly said, "Shu, when did you eat?" "When I was at home." Yushu said. "At home?" Meng Yao glared at Lin Yi before turning to Shu with a serious tone. "Shu, you need to make it clear. When did you eat at home? Where was I at that time? What was I doing?" Meng Yao was thinking about it as well. She and Shu were together almost every day, and sometimes Tang Yun was there too. She and Lin Yi didn't have the chance to do anything. Could it be that he hid it from her at night? "A few days ago, you were at home too. You ate it too?" Yushu said. "Ha! Me?" Meng Yao almost dropped the plate in her hand. What kind of joke was this Shu playing at? When did she eat it? This time, Tang Yun didn't think that it was possible. If Shu and Lin Yi had something going on, she would believe it a little. After all, Shu was a bold person, and she had a crush on Lin Yi. Naturally, she would do anything. Target ___blank. Chapter 1725. But Meng Yao was a person with strong principles. She wouldn't go along with Yushu, would she? Yeah, you ate it too. Yushu nodded. What did I eat? What did I eat? Meng Yao raged. Shu, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about anything. Shield Bro made us some snacks last time, and it was much better than the ones here. Didn't you eat a lot too? Yushu said innocently. Ah. Meng Yao blinked. She didn't know if she should laugh or cry. Was she thinking too much, or was Shu doing it on purpose? She blushed. She almost misunderstood Lin Yi. Oh, I know, Yao Yao, you're thinking the wrong thing. You must be thinking that it's the same thing you and Shield Bro did in the cave. Yushu blinked. What did I do in the cave? I was just helping him suck out the poison. Meng Yao quickly explained, afraid that Tang Yun would misunderstand. Jiang Wen was a bit troubled. He didn't get to flirt with Meng Yao, but Lin Yi got to flirt with these people instead. He should have just burned the bird and eaten it. That would have saved him so much trouble. When did you cook it? Why didn't I eat it? Tang Yun kicked Lin Yi lightly. Holy Hall Lin Yi smiled bitterly at Tang Yun. Next time, I'll cook it for you alone, I'm not eating it. Tang Yun felt that Lin Yi's words were a bit ambiguous. Ha! Lin Yi smiled. I said the fire, not the bird, I won't eat anything. Tang Yun said. Alright, let's go have a look. There seems to be steak that Shu likes. Jiang Wen made 5 to 6 plates of food for himself. He didn't have the mood to ask Meng Yao about it anymore. Everyone picked up the food and went back to their seats. Yushu started digging in while Meng Yao and Tang Yun ate like a gentleman. Lin Yi was the same as Yushu, sitting there and eating. Lin Yi didn't care about other people's eyes at all. Tang Yun and Meng Yao smiled bitterly as they watched Yushu and Lin Yi eating at each other's throats. These two were really a couple. They didn't care what other people thought of them no matter where they went. Shield Bro, this is delicious. It's not as good as your cooking, but it's not bad. Yushu gave Lin Yi a piece of grilled steak. Hee hee. Lin Yi laughed and stuffed it into his mouth. Tekitara Jiang Wen was a little disdainful, but in his heart, he was still a little wary of Lin Yi. He wanted to mock him, but he didn't dare. House N's backing was much stronger than Lin Yi's. Even those hidden noble houses were nothing in front of the fire wolves. But the relationship between House N and the fire wolves was only a guess. Most people thought that House N was just a normal businessman, and they were in between the black and the white. Jiang Wen couldn't just bring up the fire wolves, so he could only bear with Lin Yi for now. Remembering the purpose of this meal, Jiang Wen turned around with a smile and looked at Meng Yao. Yao Yao, why do I feel like we've become so distant? Although some of my actions before might have displeased you, I actually like you. I want to pursue you. You didn't dislike me when I tried to please you before, right? It's different when we were young. Meng Yao looked at Jiang Wen and sighed. Jiang Wen bro, we're all grown up now. We're mature, and we should think more rationally. I've said it before, I've always treated you like a big brother. What you're doing, won't end well. Hee hee, there's a saying, sincerity can open metal and stone. I believe that through my hard work, I'll be able to change your impression of me. Jiang Wen said. If what I did before made you uncomfortable, then I'll apologize. I'm sorry. It's fine. Meng Yao didn't say anything else after hearing what Jiang Wen said. And Lin Yi, I might have been targeting you before. I know now that you and Yao Yao have nothing to do with each other. I'll still need your help in the future. Jiang Wen said. Oh, that's not a problem, but you have to pay me. I'm helping you with the information, I can't just do it for free, can I? Lin Yi agreed quickly. Of course, of course. Jiang Wen laughed. He thought that Lin Yi wasn't afraid of lowering his image in Meng Yao's heart, but this only confirmed his suspicions that Lin Yi and Meng Yao had nothing to do with each other. Jiang Wen was a little embarrassed and angry about the Condor fire, but after thinking about it, he realized that Shu might have something going on with Lin Yi, but Meng Yao definitely didn't. This made things easier. He liked Meng Yao, and he wouldn't take Yushu even if she gave it to him for free. Oh, then give me 3 to 5 million first. Lin Yi said. You know my account number. 3 to 5 million. Jiang Wen paused. This Lin Yi was too much, wasn't he? He was just brushing him off casually, and he was really asking for money. Besides, what did he think he was doing? 3 to 5 million. No way. Jiang Wen bro, do you think 3 to 5 million is too much? Yao Yao is a miss from a rich family, and if you're stingy and marry her in the future, she'll have to suffer. You can't be that poor, can you? Yushu knew that Lin Yi was asking for money for the orphanage, so naturally, she cooperated. She and Meng Yao had already donated all their pocket money to the orphanage, so she couldn't help Lin Yi much. Naturally, she would help Lin Yi trick Jiang Wen. No, I mean. It's too little. Jiang Wen thought to himself. Fuck, I've earned a lot of money recently, but I've also given a lot to the fire wolves. 3 to 5 million wasn't a small amount, and the problem was, this wasn't a problem that could be solved with just 3 to 5 million. Jiang Wen could only put on a sad face. Don't say 3 to 5 million, just 5 million. Isn't 5 million still 3 to 5 million? Isn't that a lot? Yushu asked. Jiang Wen's heart was filled with hatred. Fuck you, I'll let you be happy for now. Once I'm done with that thing, not only will House Chu's wealth be mine, but Meng Yao will be mine too. But on the surface, he smiled. Huh, you're right. 8 million it is then. That's more like it. Yushu nodded. When are you giving it to me? I'll make a call to transfer the money now. Huh, I'm a man of my words, this is just a small amount. Jiang Wen laughed. Jiang Wen was afraid that Yushu would say something else, so he quickly made the call. At the same time, Lin Yi received the message that the money had been transferred. Target equals _blank. Chapter 1726. But Meng Yao said coldly after the transfer was done, you black sheep, spending so much money just to pick up girls. Or to scout for information. Whoever marries you will be pissed to death. Wah. Jiang Wen paused, realizing that Yushu and Meng Yao were messing with him. Maybe Meng Yao didn't mean to mess with him, but she just happened to be helping Yushu and Lin Yi. Holy hall however, Meng Yao's actions made Jiang Wen very angry. He swore in his heart that he would get his hands on Meng Yao no matter what. He had to make sure that she would be on his side. Lin Yi and Yushu, on the other hand, ate quite a bit. Tang Yun and Meng Yao, on the other hand, only tasted a little. Jiang Wen, on the other hand, didn't eat much at all. Lin Yi and Yushu had already made him lose his appetite. Seeing that his father was almost done, he made a hand gesture to Jiang Wen, and the group prepared to leave. But just as they were about to leave, a waiter came over and said politely, Sir, you haven't finished your food yet. I can't, can I not? Jiang Wen frowned. Holy hall, but. You have too much left, this is a waste, a shameful act. The waiter explained. How much? I'll pay you. Jiang Wen waved his hand impatiently, he would have lost his temper long ago if Meng Yao wasn't here. Sir, it's not a matter of money. You can leave if you don't want to finish your meal, but our cameras have already recorded your image. You will be displayed on the display board in the restaurant for a week as the subject of the shameful list. The waiter explained. Fuck. Jiang Wen couldn't take it anymore. I'm spending money to eat, why would I be on the shameful list? Sir, this is a rule of the shop, it's a warning and punishment to customers who waste their food. We wouldn't pursue it if you only had a little left, but you have 6 plates of food left, and you haven't even finished. That's a bit too much. The waiter said politely. Jiang Wen was speechless. Brother Jiang Wen, she's right. We need to be thrifty and not extravagant. If you're so wasteful, who would want to marry you in the future? Yao Yao's sis is a thrifty person. Yushu chimed in. I'll eat. I'll eat it before I leave, okay? Jiang Wen was furious, but he could only sit back down. You guys leave first, I'll sit here and eat slowly, that's for the best. The waiter nodded with a smile. And so, Lin Yi left with Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun. And Mingyue, on the other hand, had wanted to leave with Pengzhan, but frowned when she saw that Jiang Wen was in trouble. She said to Pengzhan embarrassedly, looks like Jiang Wen's appetite is pretty big. Huh, old friend Chu, you'll have to go first. I'll wait here for a bit. I'll go to your company tomorrow to discuss the details. That's not a problem. I'll be leaving first then, see you tomorrow, old friend, and Pengzhan nodded with a smile. The two seemed to be having a good conversation, as if they were back to their old friendship. Pengzhan, Lin Yi, and the others walked out of the restaurant together. Meng Yao was confused when she saw Pengzhan's red face. Daddy, you seem to be having a good conversation with that Uncle An. Yeah, your Uncle An is planning to invest in a big project in Songshan, and he invited me to participate in it. Pengzhan said excitedly. Our group's development has reached a bottleneck. It's easy to maintain our performance, but it's hard to expand. If your Uncle N's project succeeds, our group will rise to the next level. Daddy, you want to work with Uncle N? Meng Yao frowned. Their family doesn't do any proper business, right? Huh, don't worry, Yao Yao. I know what I'm doing. I won't participate in anything illegal. We're talking about a proper business, there won't be any problems. Pengzhan said. That's good. Meng Yao was just reminding him, but her father was saying that it shouldn't be a problem. After all, her father was a veteran in the business world, and he knew what he was doing. He was much stronger than Meng Yao. Lin Yi, on the other hand, wasn't too optimistic about the cooperation between Pengzhan and Mingyue. He had the same worries as Meng Yao, but Lin Yi didn't say anything after Meng Yao asked. He might be the second largest shareholder of Pengzhan Industries, but he didn't really care about the company's business. As a result, he didn't want to interfere in the company's business. Pengzhan wouldn't participate in a problematic business, so Lin Yi didn't interfere. I heard from Yao Yao that you're bringing her, Shu, and Tang Yin back to your hometown. Pengzhan changed the topic and asked Lin Yi. Yeah, I plan to leave in a few days, Lin Yi said. Uncle Chu, is there anything I can help you with? It's nothing, I was planning to visit with you, but I've just finished a big project here, and I can't leave for a while. I'm sorry, Pengzhan said apologetically. It's nothing, we're just going back for a vacation, Lin Yi smiled, but Uncle Chu, you should be careful of Hausen. Since the conversation had come to this point, Lin Yi took the opportunity to remind her. Of course. Pengzhan said, the cooperation with Hausen is something I've thought about. On one hand, we're old friends, and I can't let them go. On the other hand, I've seen this project, and it'll be very profitable if it succeeds. It'll bring Pengzhan Industries to a higher level. That's good. Lin Yi didn't say anything. Pengzhan was a veteran in business, and Lin Yi didn't know a thing about it. He could solve some problems with violence, but he didn't have much of a say when it came to business partnerships. In the parking lot, Lin Yi and Pengzhan separated. Pengzhan had Faubert pick him up, and Lin Yi drove back to the villa with Yao Yao and the others. He got 8 million from Jiang Wen today, and it was enough for the orphanage. As for the other funds, Lin Yi could think of other ways. Lin Yi wanted to borrow some from Pengzhan, but he heard that Pengzhan was going to do a big project today, and Lin Yi didn't mention it again. Chapter 1727. Not enough to earn. Daddy's acting a little weird today. Before, he kept his distance from Jiang Wen's family, but now he's working with them again. Meng Yao complained after getting in the car. After all, she had more chances to meet Jiang Wen, and it was troublesome to deal with him. I've heard of a saying, but I don't know if it's true, but in the business world, there are no true enemies and friends. As long as there's a common interest, enemies can become friends. Tang Yun said, I wonder if that's the case, Uncle Chu. I think so. Daddy's doing business is quite amazing. Meng Yao nodded. Tang Yun was talking about too many cases like this. Many companies that were suing each other turned into strategic partners in the blink of an eye. It wasn't a surprise that Peng Zhan and Mingyue were working together. Let's see. Uncle Chu should know what he's doing, Lin Yi said. Meng Yao nodded and didn't say anything else. After getting home, the group packed their luggage and went back to West Star Village with Lin Yi. Of course, they had to go shopping before they left. As the saying goes, before the army moves, the food moves first. Meng Yao wanted to buy some things and mail them back first to avoid the awkwardness of not having anything. It was still early, so Meng Yao and the group went to the supermarket. In the supermarket, Tang Yun was a little worried. She felt like an ugly daughter-in-law meeting her parents-in-law. She had been with Lin Yi for so long, but she hadn't visited Lin Yi's elders yet. Would old Lin, who raised him, like her? Besides, Tang Yun wanted to buy a gift, but she didn't know what to buy. She held Meng Yao's hand and asked hesitantly, Yao Yao, what do you think I should buy? Although Lin Yi said that we don't need to buy anything, it's still a thought, right? If I really go to his house without bringing anything, will he think that I'm immature? Well, I'm definitely going to buy it, but I can't really tell you what to buy. I don't know what Grandpa Lin likes. Meng Yao said, a little troubled. I don't know what he likes. Old man, it's nothing more than drinking and whatnot. Maybe we should buy some good stuff back. Yushu suggested. My grandpa likes to drink, that works too. I think people usually give these things to their elders. Meng Yao said. Daddy always brings these things when he goes to Grandpa's house, then let's buy a bar. But what should I buy? Tang Yun hesitated, not knowing what to buy. Why don't we ask Lin Yi? He knows us the best. Meng Yao couldn't make up her mind. Lin Yi didn't go shopping with the girls, leaving the bodyguard role to Wu Qintian, who had just returned to Songshan. He himself went to the orphanage's place of residence. This was an old-fashioned residential area, very similar to the place where Chen Shi's family lived. The top floor of each building was the kind of 6-story attic room. Although it looked like a duplex, in fact, because these buildings were built for too long, the condition of the top floor was very poor. Leakage was common, and the landlord, because the rent was cheap, would not be responsible for maintenance. Lin Yi couldn't help but shake his head when he saw this condition. It was really hard on these kids, and that miser, Yu Xiaoke. But, whether she was a miser or a miser, she still lived in a place like this. She didn't want to spend a lot of money on building an orphanage. How could she live if she ran out of money? Cihua and Boss Zhu came to a simple agreement with the dean of the orphanage, exchanging a piece of land that was 5 times bigger than the orphanage's land. It seemed like the orphanage had a huge advantage, but that wasn't the case. The new land was located in a very remote area, at the edge of the city. It belonged to the suburbs, and the price of the land was much lower than the orphanage's land. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that there was a difference of 5 times. The problem was that Cihua only calculated the price of the land, and didn't include the original house. Cihua's reason was simple. The house was burned down, so how could he give them compensation? Exchanging land of the same value was a matter of course and was very fair. Although the dean wasn't willing, there was no other way. The house was gone, and she didn't have any bargaining chips in her hands. She had to do whatever Cihua said. Besides, Sihua didn't want to make a big deal out of this, so he didn't let the orphanage suffer any losses when exchanging the land. The problem was that the orphanage had a huge piece of land, and they didn't have the money to build it. This was the biggest problem. Sihua and Boss Zhu went back to the floating cloud bar, ready to take credit for what they did, but all they saw was a burnt-down area. Qibing, on the other hand, was sitting in an SUV not far away. Sihua jumped in fright as he ran to the SUV. "Master Bing, what's going on? Is the bar on fire?" "Yeah," Qibing replied faintly. He didn't want to explain too much due to the humiliation. He was waiting for Elder Bai to heal him, and if it weren't for the fact that Elder Bai couldn't find another place, Sihua wouldn't be able to see Qibing. "Ah. What's going on?" Sihua asked. Since Elder Bai was coming, Qibing didn't want to explain too much. "Nothing. How's it going on your side?" "Congratulations, Master Bing. Under the threats and promises of Boss Zhu and I, the headmaster of the orphanage finally gave in and agreed to exchange the land with us. Now the orphanage's land is ours," Sihua said quickly. Although the value of the land was about the same, Sihua was the one who got the better end of the deal. The land in the suburbs was useless to Sihua at all, and no one would buy it unless it was used to build a factory or something. But that was a rare occurrence, and Sihua's land was useless to him at the moment. Exchanging it to the orphanage was a huge win for him. "Congratulations, my ass." Qibing couldn't hold it in anymore after hearing Sihua's words. "Ah. Master Bing, we actually got the better end of the deal. That land is priceless, no one wants it," Sihua said carefully. "Better? I lost 200 million to Lin Yi, just because of this fire. Look, Lin Yi broke my leg, and the bar was burned down by Lin Yi." Qibing said, "Look at me, I've lost so much. You're still taking advantage. Hashtag. Chapter 1728. Ah. Sihua was dumbfounded after hearing Qibing's words. He didn't notice Qibing's leg when he was sitting here, but now he realized that it was all Lin Yi's doing. "Alright, it's enough that you know about it. Don't mention it again. I'll wait for Master to come and treat me." "You know what to say then, right?" Qibing asked. Chapter 1734. I know, Master Bing. I'll take responsibility for this myself. You're an innocent victim, Sihua said with a serious face. Not bad. Qibing nodded in satisfaction. Lin Yi pressed the doorbell. Ken was the one who'd given him the address, but he wasn't sure if it was correct or not. The buildings in this residential area didn't have numbers, and he'd had to ask around before finding this place. Soon, Xiaoka's voice came from the door. "Who is it?" "It's me, Lin Yi said. "Lin Yi?" Following Xiaoka's confused voice, the door was opened. Xiaoka's face was full of surprise. "Why are you here? And why are you here?" Xiaoka couldn't be blamed. She didn't tell Lin Yi about the orphanage, and even if Lin Yi heard about it on the news, he wouldn't be able to find his way here. "Holy Hall, Lin Yi big bro, you're here." Xiao Ken ran out of the house and was very enthusiastic when he saw Lin Yi. "Xiao Ken, did you tell him?" Xiaoka wasn't stupid. She could guess what happened when she saw Xiao Ken and Lin Yi being so friendly. "Xiaoka sis. Xiao Ken was embarrassed that Xiaoka exposed him. "I just mentioned it casually, and Lin Yi big bro came to help," casually mentioned it. "He came?" Xiaoka couldn't believe it. She glared at Xiao Ken. "Tell me the truth, did you ask Lin Yi to help?" "Alright, I did, but Lin Yi big bro isn't an outsider." Xiao Ken lowered his head and mumbled. "Not an outsider." Xiaoka's eyes widened. "Could it be someone from the orphanage?" "Isn't he your boyfriend, Xiaoka sis?" "I was thinking. So I asked him to come." Xiao Ken said carefully. I. Xiaoka's face turned red. She wanted to say that, but Lin Yi wasn't her boyfriend. But saying it in front of Lin Yi hurt her self-esteem. Plus, Lin Yi was here to help. How could Xiaoka say something like that? It's not his fault, I asked to come. Lin Yi, naturally, knew what Xiaoka was thinking, but he didn't mind. I brought some money for you guys this time. Consider it as a solution to your urgent need. I heard that rebuilding the orphanage requires a lot of money, but I only have 8 million for now. You guys build a modern orphanage first, and plan all the necessary facilities. I'll think of a way to get the funds later. Xiaoka nodded. Wow, Lin Yi big bro, you're the best. You came just in time. Xiao Ken didn't think that Lin Yi would send 8 million at once, and it was just the initial funds. There would be more later, too. He was extremely excited. He actually agreed to build a bigger orphanage as well. That way, they could take in more abandoned babies and homeless children. 8 million. Xiaoka looked at Lin Yi in shock. She couldn't understand why Lin Yi would suddenly send 8 million to the orphanage. Based on her understanding of Lin Yi, he wasn't that kind of person, was he? Was it really like what Xiao Ken said? Did Lin Yi misunderstand something? But didn't Lin Yi have a girlfriend? And he was still thinking about her. The dean of the orphanage, on the other hand, was happy to see Lin Yi's timely help, but she was also suspicious of Lin Yi's intentions. She didn't know about the male thief, so she thought that Lin Yi really had some kind of relationship with Xiaoka. It's already been transferred to the account you told me about last time, Lin Yi said. You can check, it should be in the account already. Lin Yi, you, come with me for a second. Xiaoka gritted her teeth and decided to come clean with Lin Yi. She couldn't just take advantage of Lin Yi like this, could she? She didn't like him, and some things had to be made clear. Otherwise, if he really misunderstood, how could she repay him in the future? If she didn't have a male thief in her heart, she could just do what she said before and pay him back with her body. But she already had someone in her heart, and she didn't want to betray the male thief. That was why she wanted to make things clear with Lin Yi. Oh. Lin Yi paused. He really didn't think much of it, he really wanted to do something for the orphanage. Xiaoka's actions in the tomb deeply touched Lin Yi, and that was why Lin Yi was willing to help her. He didn't want Xiaoka to have anything in return. Otherwise, wouldn't it be better to send money as the male thief? Then Xiaoka might even repay him with her body, but that wasn't Lin Yi's original intention. But Xiaoka had already turned around and left the room, so he had no choice but to follow her. Xiaoka closed the door in the corridor and stopped at the corner of the stairs. What's the matter? Lin Yi looked at Xiaoka oddly. Do you like me and want to please me? Xiaoka stared at Lin Yi and lowered her voice, biting her lips. Ah. Lin Yi paused. I like you. Please you. What are you talking about? Isn't that so? Then why are you giving us money for no reason? Xiaoka was confused by Lin Yi's reaction, but she didn't believe that Lin Yi was being nice. From her perspective, someone who did things for no reason must be hiding evil intentions. The two weren't close, and Lin Yi and the others had already done their best with that donation. There was no need for him to give them money now. Plus, the amount of money he gave this time was a lot more than the total amount he donated last time. Xiaoka couldn't help but be suspicious. To tell the truth, if it weren't for the fact that he had a deeper understanding of Xiaoka in the tomb, he wouldn't have bothered to give her money. It's all because of Xiao Ken, saying that you guys are in a difficult situation. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. What did you think? That you were thinking too much? I thought you had some ulterior motives. I have someone I like, and he's 100, 1,000 times better than you, so if you have other motives, then don't think too much. Xiaoke sighed in relief after saying that. Lin Yi was speechless. Someone you like is 100, 1,000 times better than me? Are you saying that I have a split personality or something? Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I know you have someone you like, and I don't like your skills. Chapter 1729. Humph, it's better if you don't like it. Xiaoke let out a breath of relief and smiled. I'm sorry, I almost misunderstood you. Are you really just here to help? Forget it, give me back my money. Lin Yi didn't want to argue with Xiaoke and tried to scare her. No. Xiaoke needed money, and as long as she knew that Lin Yi didn't have any other motives, how could a little money grubber like her give up the money so easily? I heard that you're going to take on some kind of mission. Lin Yi asked. Xiao Ken told you. Xiaoke pouted, he's quite nice to you, don't go, I'll think of a way to get the rest of the money for you. With your level, you might not be able to come back. Lin Yi said, if there's nothing else, I'll be going. I might have to go somewhere far. Tell Xiao Ken to call me if there's anything. With that, he turned around and went downstairs. He waved goodbye to Xiaoke and didn't stay for long. Since when did Lin Yi become so caring? Xiaoke looked at Lin Yi's back, confused. But suddenly, she blinked and rubbed her eyes. Because in that instant, she realized that Lin Yi's back gave her a very familiar feeling. This feeling made her heart beat faster uncontrollably. But when Xiaoke wanted to take a closer look, Lin Yi's figure had already disappeared into the stairs of the next floor. Xiaoke couldn't see it even if she wanted to. Xiaoke shook her head, not knowing why she had this feeling. But she didn't think much about it and quickly went back to her room. Xiaoke sis, where's Lin Yi, Gidge? Did he leave? Xiao Ken saw that Xiaoke came back alone and asked curiously. He's busy, so he left first. Xiaoke said. Then. Did he say anything to you? Xiao Ken saw that Xiaoke's expression was very natural, as if nothing had happened between the two. He was a little disappointed. Xiao Ken saw Xiaoke as a goddess, but he knew that he wasn't good enough for her. Plus, this worship had nothing to do with love. Only a powerful person like Lin Yi could take good care of Sister Xiaoke, so Xiao Ken was very optimistic about Lin Yi. The key was that he had promised Lin Yi to keep it a secret and not reveal his identity. Sister Xiaoke didn't seem to like Lin Yi very much, so Xiao Ken was anxious, but he couldn't say it directly, so he could only ask vaguely. Say what? Xiaoke looked at the worried expression on Ken's face and felt suspicious. I say, Ken, is there some secret between you and Lin Yi? What did he say to you? No. No. Ken shook his head determinedly. He'd promised Lin Yi that he wouldn't divulge anything. He was a man, so he naturally had to keep his word. Tekidra, then why are you asking me what he said to me and what he did? What do you know? Xiaoke still didn't believe him. Actually, I think that Lin Yi bro is a good guy. That male thief is too vague for you, Xiaoke sis. Lin Yi bro is more practical, right in front of you. Xiao Ken said. Anyways, I support you and Lin Yi bro being together, what do you know, kid? Xiaoke said helplessly. Plus, Lin Yi didn't mean that. He just wanted to do something good out of kindness. He has a girlfriend, so don't think too much. Oh. Xiao Ken had no choice but to keep his mouth shut. He thought that he should say some good things about Lin Yi to Xiaoke in the future. It would be useful. Just when the orphanage was celebrating with a large sum of money, the dean was a little worried. Xiaoke had explained that Lin Yi was just doing a good deed, but from the old dean's perspective, there was something fishy about this whole thing. Lin Yi's 8 million was a little too much. Even the dean couldn't believe that Lin Yi didn't have any ulterior motives, but Xiaoke said it with certainty, and Lin Yi didn't seem to have any ulterior motives. Could it be that he was thinking too much? But no matter what, they had money now. It was a good thing. Tomorrow, the dean could hire a design company to study the construction of the orphanage. Lin Yi had just left Xiaoka's place when his phone rang. He thought it was Tang Yun and the others, but it was Ling Shan. Shan. You're back in Songshan. Lin Yi was a little surprised. Yeah, I just came back. I still have work to do here, and I can't stay at the house all the time. Ling Shan paused, her tone a little weird. Plus, I was kicked out. Grandpa told me to meet up with you in Songshan. Meet up with me? Lin Yi blinked. Why do you want to meet up with me? I want to pursue you. Do I have to make it so clear? Ling Shan was a little troubled. Grandpa thinks of you as the hope of our family's rise, and he wants me to stick to you. Ha! Then are you annoyed? Lin Yi didn't know what to say. Of course not, I've always liked you. Ling Shan was the bolder type, admitting whatever she had. She wasn't shy at all. Let's not talk about that. You called to tell me that you're back. Lin Yi wanted to contact Tang Yun and the others as soon as possible, so he didn't have time to chat with Ling Shan. No, I haven't been here for a few days, and I've got a few cases backlog. Can you help me? Ling Shan said. I knew you wouldn't call me for anything good. Using me as free labor. I'll be going out for a few days, so I don't have time. Lin Yi said. Help me, please. Ling Shan's tone was a little coy as she said to Lin Yi. I really have a lot of cases to take care of, and I can't handle all of them. Can you help me with one? Tell me about it. Lin Yi couldn't take it anymore. Recently, there's a new gang active in Songshan. They're using street kids and kidnapped children to steal, but on the surface, they're just street performers. I can't do anything to them because I don't have any evidence. Aren't you close with you, Xiaoka? Can you ask the orphanage if there's any news about it? Ling Shan and Xiaoka weren't on good terms. She knew that Xiaoka was a thief for the orphanage, so she let her off the hook. However, Ling Shan didn't want to approach her proactively, so she could only ask Lin Yi for help. Chapter 1730. After all, the orphanage should have had contact with the kidnappers before. These small gangs would buy some orphans from illegal orphanages to help them commit crimes. Of course, Xiaoka wouldn't do something like that, but these people might have had contact with Xiaoka before. Oh. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for you, Lin Yi said. But it's hard to say if there's any news. Okay, thank you so much. Contact me if there's any news. Ling Shan said. Lin Yi shook his head and hung up. As expected, Tang Yun's call came in as soon as he hung up. Een, where are you guys? I'm done here, I'll come find you guys. Lin Yi asked. Lin Yi, we're at the supermarket we always go to. Tang Yun said. I want to buy Grandpa Lin a present, but I don't know what to get. What do you think I should get? For him. There's no need for that, right? Lin Yi and old Lin didn't have much of a relationship, and he hadn't bought anything for him all these years. In fact, Lin Yi didn't have much money in his pocket, and other than some living expenses, he gave the rest to old Lin. Holy Hall, how can I do that? Mom said that I need to buy something when I'm meeting an elder for the first time. Tang Yun thought that if someone as stingy as her mom said that, then it had to be a very important etiquette. Then let's buy a few bottles of ergotu, Lin Yi said after some thought. Old Lin loved drinking, but he couldn't bear to buy it. He always brewed his own wine, and only when he ran out of wine would he go to Widow Wang's store and buy a bottle of ergotu to satisfy his craving. But to be honest, old Lin's medical skills were great, but his brewing skills weren't that great. The alcohol he brewed wasn't high, and so he preferred ergotu. He used to compete with Lin Yi in drinking, but Lin Yi couldn't get drunk after 1,000 cups. So he said, it's a waste for you to drink ergotu. Drink some water with me. Ergotu. Tang Yin paused. She knew that this kind of alcohol was cheap. Her father used to drink ergotu by himself when his leg was broken, so it couldn't be expensive. Wasn't it a little inappropriate to give it to an elder? Yeah, buy a box for him. He likes to drink ergotu and eat fennel beans the most. Lin Yi said, if you buy other foreign wines, he won't be used to it. Oh, alright then. Hearing Lin Yi's determination, Tang Yun could only nod and agree. Wait for me, I'll go find you. Lin Yi went downstairs and drove to the supermarket. At the same time, in the cafeteria, Jiang Wen was eating with a bitter face, and Mingyue was helping him. Mingyue couldn't bear to let his son eat alone, so he ate with him. If it wasn't for the fact that Jiang Wen was afraid of being filmed, he would have smashed the plate and left already. But if this was really put on display, his name as the Songshan young master would have been humiliated. Dad, how was it? Did it go well? Jiang Wen tried to find a topic to talk about as he ate. Very well. Mingyue said, that hypnotist is really good, Pengzhan believes everything I say. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been able to invite Pengzhan out so easily. I didn't expect him to be able to hypnotize people over the phone. Huh, of course, that's a powerful person the vice leader sent to help me get money. He's very powerful along with Professor Yin and the others. They're all core members of the Fire Wolves. Jiang Wen said proudly, he can even hypnotize an idiot, let alone a normal person like Pengzhan. Jiang Wen, your position in the Fire Wolves has already surpassed mine. You've done well. Who knows, you might even be able to enter the core of the Fire Wolves in the future. If that happens, our Housen will have a bright future ahead of us. Mingyue praised. Mingyue really didn't know what to say about this son of hers. He was much braver than Enchanted, and the things he did seemed to be impulsive and stupid. But every time he did something, he would get huge amounts of money for the Fire Wolves. Mingyue didn't know what to say. But, if you let the hypnotist and Professor Yin do private things for us, would they have any objections? Mingyue lowered his voice and asked. Them. I'm in front of them right now, and my words carry weight. I need to get some benefits for my house when I'm doing things for the Fire Wolves. Jiang Wen shook his head and said proudly, I'm resting now, and they have nothing better to do. Even if the Fire Wolves find out, they won't say anything. My contribution to the Fire Wolves is hundreds of times more than the others. That's true. Mingyue sighed. His son had the right to be proud now. He could use all the core resources of the Fire Wolves, and it showed how much the Fire Wolves valued him. What he said wasn't wrong. While earning money for the Fire Wolf gang, earning some money for his own family was nothing. This time, I need to make sure that Pengzhan has nowhere else to go. That's the only way I can make Mengyao marry me. Jiang Wen's eyes burned with desire as he thought about it. Jiang Wen, with your current status and power, what kind of girl can't you get? Why are you so obsessed with Mengyao? Mingyue didn't understand what his son was thinking. Although House Chu had Lin Yi behind them, and they looked powerful, Mingyue didn't really care about them. They were just a noble house, and Mingyue didn't think much of them even though they were a hidden noble house. As far as he was concerned, Mengyao was just a poor young miss after he took over Pengzhan's businesses. Was there a need for Jiang Wen to care about her so much? Father, you don't understand. It's a childhood obsession. Jiang Wen said. If I can't get Mengyao, I'll always regret it. Maybe after I get her, I'll think that it's nothing, but if I can't get her, I'll never be satisfied. Alright, if you want to do it, then do it. You're all grown up now. You know what you're doing. Mingyue stopped trying to stop him. Right, make sure you do a clean job on taking over Pengzhan Industries. Don't let House Chu know about it. I don't want to be the bad guy and make Mengyao hate me. Jiang Wen said. I want her body, and her heart. Don't worry, I'm a veteran in the business world. I can handle things like this. Plus, with the help of a hypnotist, there won't be a problem. And Mingyue said. That's good. Jiang Wen nodded in relief. Right, I heard that big bro of mine isn't satisfied and came back to work. Chapter 1731. Jianda. Yes. He's back. And Mingyue sighed and said, he always felt that he was the one who laid the foundation for the business you took over. He felt that the glory you have now should belong to him. So, he was not satisfied, so he applied to the Fire Wolves gang and came back from the border. He wanted to be like you and use these methods to make money. His courage. Jiang Wen curled his lips. It's fine if he's a coward, but he's not smart either. I don't know why the Fire Wolves agreed to let him come back. His contributions to the Fire Wolves weren't small, but of course, compared to yours, it's much smaller. And Mingyue said, of course, he came back to work just to take care of his emotions. As for assistants, they won't give him any powerful people. I think he wants to fight with me for the position of the head of Housen, right? Jiang Wen seemed to have seen through Jianda's thoughts. He's the big brother, of course, it's not surprising. And Mingyue said, but you don't have to care about him, just do your own thing. The Fire Wolves aren't idiots, they know who's stronger. I understand, Jiang Wen nodded, I'm just saying, let him do what he wants. Lin Yi drove to the supermarket, and Lin Yi saw Menyao's Audi S5 in the parking lot. He parked beside her car and entered the supermarket. Saints Hall Lin Yi was very good at finding people, and so he quickly found Tang Yun and the others who were buying ergotu. Yun, you don't need to buy that much, right? Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he saw Tang Yun buying 2 boxes of ergotu. Actually, the village sells it too. It's just a token of your sincerity, 1 box is enough. Lin Yi said as he put 1 box back. I see, I was thinking of buying more. Tang Yun was a little embarrassed. Are you guys done? Lin Yi asked. Yeah, almost. Meng Yao pointed at Chen Tian, who was pushing 2 full carts. I've bought everything I need. Lin Yi took a look and saw Chen Tian pushing a cart with each hand. It was fortunate that the guy was a practitioner, otherwise normal people wouldn't even be able to push a cart. He didn't know how Meng Yao and the others managed to get there, but the things in the cart were piled up like a small mountain. It's just a vacation. You don't have to be so exaggerated, right? Lin Yi said helplessly, let's go. Let's go and settle the bill. Thief. There's a thief. Just when Lin Yi and the others were about to pay the bill, Yushu pointed at a pregnant woman not too far away. She's a thief. She stole 2 bottles of red wine. Lin Yi frowned. He didn't want to get involved in this kind of thing. The supermarket security would take care of it, and Xiaoke was a thief as well. Maybe the pregnant woman had something she couldn't disclose, so Lin Yi didn't want to get involved. Chapter 333. But with Yushu's shout, they had no choice but to take care of it. All the customers around them turned to look at the direction Yushu was pointing at, and the supermarket security came running over after hearing the shout. Shu, is she really a thief? Did you see it? Meng Yao was actually quite a righteous person, but she hesitated when she saw that the thief was a pregnant woman. Wouldn't it be difficult for a pregnant woman to steal things? Where's the thief? Who is the thief? At this time, the security guard in the mall also quickly ran over, looked at the crowd and asked. No one answered, but everyone's eyes were on the pregnant woman near the wine rack. They were here to watch the commotion, and they didn't see the theft. Naturally, they wouldn't say anything. It's her, I saw her steal 2 bottles of wine. Yushu pointed at the pregnant woman. The security guard frowned. This kind of pregnant woman thief was their biggest headache, and they didn't know how to deal with it. If they were not careful and something happened, it would be a big deal. Not only would they lose their jobs, but they would also have to pay for it. So the leader of the security was very cautious, and he said to the others, "Don't let her leave, I'll call the police immediately." But before they could say anything, the pregnant woman turned around and wanted to leave. "Ma'am. You can't leave yet. Please wait for the police to come, okay?" One of the security stopped the pregnant woman and said carefully. "Why can't I leave?" "Why? Because she called me a thief?" The pregnant woman was angry, and she pointed at Yushu and said, "Then I called her a thief too. I only have this small purse with me. Where am I going to steal anything?" The security was speechless, and he didn't know what to do. "Ouch, my stomach hurts." The pregnant woman suddenly held her stomach and said, "Is this how you treat a pregnant woman in the supermarket? I'm going to the hospital, move." The security looked at the security captain helplessly. The security captain also looked at Yushu with a troubled look. If he really lost something in this supermarket, and he let the suspect go, the boss would definitely blame him. But if he didn't let her go now, it'd be troublesome if something happened. Moreover, looking at the price of the wine on the shelf behind her, they were all measured in units of 10,000. If she really stole it, he wouldn't be able to bear the responsibility. She's pregnant. But she has 2 bottles of wine in her stomach. Yushu pointed at the pregnant woman and said, "Pfft." The people at the scene heard Yushu's words, and they almost burst into laughter. So this pregnant woman was fake, and she hid the wine in her stomach. No wonder she said that she only had a small purse with her, and nothing else, so this was the reason. "Ma'am, can you open your clothes and have a look?" The security captain heard Yushu's words, and he calmed down. Normally, if people weren't sure, they wouldn't be so confident. My stomach hurts, it hurts so much." The pregnant woman suddenly lay on the ground, her hands covering her stomach, and then she shouted, Wife, what's wrong?" At this time, a man with a scar on his face ran out from the crowd, pushed the security captain away, and hugged the pregnant woman lying on the ground, and shouted to the security captain, "My wife needs to be sent to the hospital immediately, I'll sue your supermarket. If anything happens to my wife, I'll sue you for murder." The security captain didn't expect that another pregnant woman's husband would come and say such harsh words, which made him hesitate. It wasn't easy for him to do this job. He was sandwiched between the boss and the customer, so when he heard the man's words, he flinched. Chapter 1732. Lin Yi frowned. He didn't want to waste any more time here, so he quickly walked to the pregnant woman and lifted the hem of her clothes. He took out a big bag, and the pregnant woman's belly deflated. He opened the big bag, and it was filled with famous cigarettes and alcohol, worth hundreds of thousands. Lin Yi was a doctor, and it was easy for him to tell if the woman was pregnant or not. Since he was sure that she wasn't, he didn't need to spoil her. "So it's fake. There's a bag in her belly," the crowd said. "Yeah, this woman is actually pregnant with famous cigarettes and wine. This is really amazing. Whoever finds such a wife will be rich." Another person in the crowd said with a smile. Please come with us to the security room." The security captain saw this and wasn't afraid anymore. Even if the pregnant woman was fake, there wouldn't be a problem. However, just when everyone was cheering, the man who claimed to be the pregnant woman's husband disappeared. When the security captain wanted to invite the man to the security room, he realized that the man had already left. Although Lin Yi saw that the man had left, he didn't stop him. He had done enough. The group paid the bill and went to the parking lot. They loaded the things they bought into the car, and just as they closed the door, they were surrounded by a few people. Since the parking lot was open air, and there were no surveillance cameras, these people were very unscrupulous. "Guys, you've done a good job, and now you want to leave." Among these people, the leader was the man who claimed to be the pregnant woman's husband. Behind him were two strong men, and it was obvious that they weren't good people. In terms of numbers, there were 2 men and 3 women on Lin Yi's side. It seemed like they had the advantage, but in fact, there were 2 strong men on Scarface's side. In terms of size, they obviously had an advantage over Lin Yi and Wuxia Chronicles. "There's still a bonus if we don't leave?" Lin Yi asked. "Bonus? Are you dreaming? You ruined my good thing, and you still want a bonus?" Scarface sneered and stopped joking with Lin Yi. Land Rover Discovery 4, Audi S5. "Not bad. You're quite rich, aren't you? Today, you've caused me to lose more than 100,000 yuan. My wife has also lost her life. Don't you think you should give me some compensation? Your wife pretended to be pregnant and stole, and you still want compensation. Why are you so dumb?" Yushu said, "Shield bro, ignore him, let's go home." "That's true. Let's go." Lin Yi shrugged and was about to get into the car. "Kid, do you think I'm messing with you? Get in the car. I'm telling you, I'm going to detain your car. If you don't get 200,000. No, 500,000 yuan, don't even think about driving your car back." As Scarface spoke, he winked at a burly man beside him and said, "Teach them a lesson." "Yes." One of the burly men responded, and then laughed. He took a brick from behind him and said to Lin Yi, "Kid, I think you have too little experience in society. You don't know how high the sky is." As he spoke, he held the brick in his left hand and punched it with his right fist. With a loud bang, the brick shattered. "Kid, before you leave, think about it. Is your head harder or the brick harder?" The burly man who broke the brick patted the dust off his hand and said arrogantly. "Shield bro, is this person a street performer? Why does he look like those people who break rocks on their chests?" Yushu asked curiously. "I think so. Otherwise, who would bring a brick out for no reason?" Lin Yi nodded. "Oh, then I'll give you 10 yuan. You've been working hard, performing for so long." Yushu said as she took out 10 yuan from her pocket and gave it to the burly man. "I think you guys don't know how high the sky is, do you?" The burly man's face darkened when he heard Yushu's words. He was indeed a street performer, and Yushu hit the nail on the head. "Wuxia Chronicles, you tell him whose fist is harder." Lin Yi said as he looked at Chronicles. "Okay, boss." Chronicles couldn't hold it in any longer, but he didn't dare to do anything without Lin Yi's permission. Now that Lin Yi had spoken, he jumped out immediately and walked to the triangular hammer beside the parking lot. He raised his fist and smashed it down, and the solid hammer was smashed into a metal plate. After that, Chronicles shook off the dust on his hands. "Idiot, trying to act tough in front of my boss. Think about it first. Is your head harder, or is this iron all harder?" Wah! The burly man and Scarface were dumbfounded. They never would have thought that they would meet a tough opponent today. They were just punching a brick, but the other side was smashing a metal plate into a metal plate. It was clear who was better. "Get the hell out of here if you don't want to die." "What the hell?" Chronicles humphed and returned to Lin Yi's side. "Let's go." Lin Yi didn't bother with Scarface anymore and got in the Rover. Chronicles got in Menyao's Audi S5, but Tang Yun, Mengyao, and Yushu all sat in Lin Yi's car. The 2 cars sped away in front of Scarface, leaving him staring at the metal plate on the ground in disbelief. "Scarface bro, this seems real. This metal plate really was smashed into a metal plate." The burly man said in shock as he looked at the metal plate on the ground. "Bullshit, of course I know it's real." Scarface raged, "Do you think I'd let them leave if it wasn't real?" "Then now we..." The burly man asked carefully. "Fuck, we had a bad start. Let's go back and think of a way to explain to De bro sent us out to get money, but we didn't get any money. Instead, we got caught in the supermarket, and now we're being threatened. Scarface said unhappily. Lin Yi didn't mind this little interlude. After returning to the villa, everyone started to get busy. They packed the things they bought and some daily necessities. Most of them were going to be mailed back, and only a small amount was left in the car. The next morning, after they mailed the things, they started their journey. Lin Yi originally wanted to find some tourist attractions along the way, but Tang Yun and the others seemed to want to get to Star West Village first. They weren't interested in the tourist attractions, so Lin Yi chose the shortest route and went straight to Star West Village. Chapter 1733. Distinguished guests arrive. On the day Lin Yi departed, the Kong family also welcomed two uninvited guests. Kong Guifeng looked at the two strangers in front of his house and was a little confused. He didn't know who they were, but judging from their temperament, they were very extraordinary. So, Kong Guifeng didn't dare to neglect them. He quickly asked, "May I ask? Why are you two visiting our Kong family? Are you from the Kong family?" Among the two, one of them was obviously a follower and asked Kong Guifeng. "Yes, I am the eldest son of the Kong family, Kong Guifeng. May I ask who you two are?" Kong Guifeng asked hesitantly. "This is the young master of the Hidden Yu family, Enchanted. Why aren't you opening the door and letting the master of the Kong family come out to welcome you?" The follower looked at Kong Guifeng and said arrogantly. "Ah. Hidden Yu family." Kong Guifeng was a little dumbfounded when he heard this name. Within his range of contact, the families in the secular world were already unreachable. But the hidden families were as high as the sky. Although he knew about the hidden families, he had only heard of them. He had never come into contact with them. At this time, a hidden family suddenly came to visit. This made Kong Guifeng a little lost. However, he knew that the hidden families were superior to the Kong family. "Third you, don't be so blunt. Although we are a hidden family, Master Kang's seniority is there. There's no need to let him come out to welcome us." Enchanted waved his hand and said. The Hidden Yu family came this time to cooperate with the Kong family, so they wouldn't be too arrogant. "How can we do that? Both of you are from a hidden family. I will let someone open the door and let my father come out to welcome the two distinguished guests." Kong Guifeng knew that Enchanted was probably just being polite, so he didn't dare to neglect him. He quickly ordered a few servants at the door to open the door and quickly called Dr. Kong. Dr. Kong didn't have a good time these few days. He couldn't compete for the title of a noble family. Not only that, but the Kong family had been completely excluded from the sphere of influence of the noble families. In the territory of the member families of the Cultivator Association led by Lin Yi, the Kong family's business would probably have a hard time. He previously wanted to cooperate with the Shao family and form an alliance with the Hidden Pai family, but he didn't know if they would take a liking to the Kong family. Miracle Dr. Kang's phone rang as he was worrying about it. "Hello." Miracle Dr. Kong snapped out of his daze and quickly picked up the phone. This was his private number, and only House Shao and his own people knew about it, so Miracle Dr. Kong took it very seriously. "Father, I'm Guifeng." Guifeng said. "Guifeng? Why didn't you tell me? Why are you calling from home?" Dr. Kong was confused. "Father, there are two distinguished guests at home. Bring your brother and the younger generation and come out to welcome them." Kong Guifeng said hurriedly. Although Enchanted was polite, he couldn't not give him face. "What distinguished guests? Do I have to welcome them? Could it be the two brothers from the Shao family are here?" Dr. Kong was stunned. After all, the two brothers from the Shao family were the younger generation, but no matter how poor the Shao family was, they still had the support of the Hidden Pai family. The Kong family had nothing. "It's the young master of the Hidden Yu family." Kong Guifeng said. What? The Hidden Yu family. Dr. Kong jumped up from his chair. He didn't expect that someone from a hidden house would come to the Kong family. He said hurriedly, "Okay, wait for me. I'll be right there." Dr. Kong hurriedly found Kong Tsuepu, Kong Xiaolong, and Kong Mingming. They came to the entrance of House Kong and saw two people with extraordinary auras talking to Kong Guifeng. Distinguished guests, I am the master of House Kong, Kong Lai Kai. Distinguished guests, please. Dr. Kong heard that they were from a hidden house, so naturally, he was very respectful. Master Kong, you don't have to be so polite. We are from the Hidden Yu family. We also research medicine in the hidden house. We are in the same industry. Yu Xintian smiled. Elder Kong, please. Compared to you, we are just small fries. How is this medicine research? Dr. Kong heard the kindness in Yu Xintian's words and was very excited. It seemed that the Hidden Yu family came for a good thing. The few of them came to the Kong family's living room. Yu Third introduced Yu Xintian. Dr. Kong was even more excited. So it's the young master of House Yu. My apologies for not recognizing you. I heard that House Yu is a medical family that specializes in alchemy. It's a great honor for us to have you as a guest. Old clan head Kong, we've come this time around for a certain matter. Yu Xintian waved his hand. You don't have to be so polite. We came here with the intention of learning. Young Master Yu, you're too kind. Just tell us what you want. Dr. Kong heard Yu Xintian's tone and was flattered. It's like this, Yu Xintian said. Our hidden house Yu has a good relationship with the hidden house Pai, and we've received news from him that your house Kong is researching the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Have you made any progress? Pill of life extension and toxin cleansing? Dr. Kong paused. He immediately understood why House Yu was here. They were here for the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. No wonder they were so polite. However, Dr. Kong knew that he couldn't speak carelessly in front of a hidden family. He could only tell the truth. There is indeed such a thing, but the recipe. We're not researching it, we're stealing it. Stealing? What do you mean? Yu Xintian paused. I'm sure you know about House Yu's auction, young Master Yu. Dr. Kong asked. Auction? What auction? Yu Xintian didn't quite understand Dr. Kang's words. Yu Xintian's answer surprised Dr. Kong as well. From what he could see, the hidden house Yu didn't know about House Yu's auction. In reality, the hidden house Yu had never paid attention to the mundane world's matters. The 9 great houses in the mundane world didn't have much contact with the hidden houses either. Other than the mundane House Yu and the hidden House Yu, even the Shao family only recently contacted House Pai. So it was normal that the hidden house Yu didn't pay attention to the mundane world's auction. It's like this. Dr. Kong saw that Yu Xintian really didn't know, so he didn't hide it. He told Yu Xintian everything about how Guan Shueming had made the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. So you're saying that you're going to steal Guan Shueming's recipe? Yu Xintian frowned. He seemed to have found the wrong partner. He should have gone straight to Guan Shueming. The prequel of Very Pure, Very Ambiguous, contains the origin of Lin Yi's jade. Chapter 1734. Two Families Working Together, Part 1. Yes, House Kong has this plan, and it's in progress. Dr. Kong nodded and pointed at Kong Mingming. This matter has always been handled by my grandson, Zhao Ming. Oh, if that's the case, then we'll have to trouble you, old Master Kong. Yu Xintian heard that Dr. Kong didn't have the formula, so he didn't have the mood to talk to them anymore. His next step was to ask Guan Shueming for the formula. This. Dr. Kong saw that Yu Xintian was about to leave and panicked. It wasn't easy for House Kong to find a backer. If he were to leave just like that, he would regret it to death. Young Master Yu, please wait. At this moment, Kong Mingming spoke. Is there anything else? Yu Zhintian frowned and turned his head to look at Kong Xiaoming. He didn't put a junior in his eyes, but he did come with courtesy. Although he didn't get anything, it didn't hurt to be polite when he left. Young Master Yu, may I ask if you want to ask Guan Xueming for the formula? Kong Mingming asked. So what if I am? Yu Zhintian asked back. Young Master Yu, you don't know Guan Xueming's personality. If we could get the formula, we would have asked for it a long time ago. Kong Mingming said, Guan Xueming is a person who doesn't listen to persuasion or force. He doesn't seek fame or fortune. House Yu once wanted to make Guan Xueming's family a noble house, but he rejected it. Do you think he would give the formula to such a person directly? Oh. Yu Zhintian wasn't an idiot. He understood the meaning behind Kong Mingming's words. He turned around and sat down again. He asked, in your opinion, how should I get this formula? It seemed like House Kong had tried before. Since they didn't succeed, Yu Zhintian might not succeed even if he asked for it. Since Guan Xueming didn't seek fame and fortune, he definitely wouldn't care about the benefits promised by the hidden Yu family. Hence, Yu Zhintian sat down again to see what Kong Mingming had to say. Actually, young master right, if you force him with force, he might hand over the formula. Kong Mingming said. That won't do. I'll use force to force him to hand over the recipe. If the Hidden House Association finds out, they'll definitely come after us. Yu Zhintian shook his head. Although the Hidden House Arbitration Association was in danger of collapsing at any time, no one wanted to be the one to test the waters. All the hidden families knew that the great elder of the Arbitration Association had disappeared for many years, but no one knew where he had gone or if he would ever return. Back then, it was said that he made contact with those missing heaven-ranked powerhouses and then went to pursue the heavenly law. However, did he disappear with those missing heaven-ranked powerhouses, or did he fail in his pursuit of the heavenly law? Or these were all shrouded in mystery. Currently, the Hidden House Arbitration Association was managed by each hidden family and sect with an elder from each family. It was just that each family supervised each other together. But now, each family had thoughts of breaking this rule, but they were afraid that the great elder would suddenly return. Hence, they were all waiting for some hidden family or sect to take the lead and see if the great elder would appear. Hence, under these circumstances, the hidden Yu family wasn't a fool. Even with the support of the Heavenly Elixir sect, they wouldn't dare to take the lead. In his opinion, whoever wanted to do it could do it. Anyway, the hidden Yu family wasn't a fool. That's why I said that only our Kong family can be the villain. You hidden Yu family can only do it in the dark, not in the open. Otherwise, there'll be trouble. Kong Mingming had vaguely heard Xiao Wangba and Xiao Wangdao talk about the hidden family's rules when they were bragging, so he deliberately said that just now. His goal was to prevent the hidden Yu family from leaving. Since Yu Zhintian could become the young master, he naturally wasn't someone to be trifled with. After hearing Kong Mingming's words, he understood what he meant. If you want the formula, the best way is to cooperate with the Kong family. If you don't cooperate with us, then you'll have to be the villain. I'm afraid you'll attract the blame of the Hidden House Arbitration Association. Then, the gains won't make up for the losses. Of course, Yu Zhintian could also choose to cooperate with others, one in the open and one in the dark. But with a ready-made partner like the Kong family, he didn't need to waste time looking for others. Thinking of this, Yu Zhintian slowly nodded. What you mean is that your Kong family will be in the open while our hidden Yu family will help you in the dark. Of course, all the conflicts will be borne by your Kong family while we only need to do things in the dark. Is that right? That's right. Kong Mingming nodded. I actually have a good plan here, but I haven't had a suitable candidate to execute it. If young Master Yu is willing, our two families are a match made in heaven. We'll definitely be able to get the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing's formula this time. Let's talk about it. But let's make this clear first. We can provide manpower, but you definitely can't tell anyone about our hidden Yu family's activities in the common world. Yu Zhentian warned. Otherwise, even if the Yu family is blamed, you won't have it any better. Young Master Yu, don't worry. If we're so insensible, we wouldn't be talking about cooperating with you. Kong Mingming nodded. Alright then, tell me your plan. Yu Zhentian asked. Dr. Kong didn't expect that the Yu family that was about to leave would be turned around by Kong Mingming with just a few words. He was overjoyed and looked at Kong Mingming with even more fondness. He really didn't know that this grandson of his was such a talent. The few times when House Kong was in trouble, it was all because of Kong Mingming's good ideas. Hence, Dr. Kong increasingly felt that Kong Mingming was better than Kong Xiaolong. Although Kong Guifeng didn't feel good, he had to admit that Kong Ming's ability was better than his. No matter what, he was able to make the hidden Yu family stay and cooperate with the Kong family. That was a great ability. That Guan Shuamin is unmoved by force or persuasion, and he doesn't seek fame or fortune. It can be said that he has no weakness. Kong Mingming said. But I know his weakness. Oh. What is it? Unknowingly, Yu Zhentian was led by the nose by Kong Mingming's thoughts. That's his granddaughter, Guan Xian. Guan Shuamin loves this granddaughter very much. If we kidnap her and ask for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing from Guan Shuamin will definitely give it to us. Kong Mingming had this idea for a long time, but he didn't dare to carry it out. Now that the hidden Yu family was here, he could let them do it. Oh. That's simple. Then your Kong family can do it yourself. Why would you need to cooperate with the hidden Yu family? Yu Zhentian wasn't stupid and immediately saw the problem. Hashtag. Chapter 1735. Between the two families, Part 2, Young Master Yu is wise. Kong Mingming flattered without leaving a trace, then said, Our Kong family doesn't have any cultivators, but Guan Shuamin has a good relationship with a cultivator. That cultivator has the strength of an Earth-class early phase. We don't have any experts in our hands, so how would we dare to kidnap him? Isn't that courting death? Oh. Guan Shuamin has an Earth-class early phase cultivator friend. After Yu Zhentian heard Kong Mingming's words, he was stunned. He didn't expect Guan Shuamin to be so arrogant to have such a friend. But come to think of it, although the hidden Yu family was a family of medicine and alchemy, they knew the importance of medicine and alchemy in a hidden family, and the hidden Yu family also recruited many experts to their side. But the key problem was that Guan Shuamin was just an ordinary doctor. It wasn't surprising that he had a few golden class friends, but it was difficult to have a mystic class, let alone an earth class. Yes, that's why we didn't dare to act rashly. Kong Mingming nodded and said. Earth-class expert. Yu Zhentian frowned. When did an Earth-class expert appear in the secular world? And Guan Shuamin's friend? Could it be someone from another hidden family? If that was the case, then it would be difficult. If he really went against Guan Shuamin and offended the other hidden families, wouldn't he be making an enemy for no reason? Kong Mingming seemed to see through Yu Zhentian's worry and quickly said, that Earth-class expert is called Lin Yi. He's a lone cultivator with no background, so you don't have to worry, young Master Yu. What? Lin Yi? Yu Zhentian was stunned. Why was this name so familiar? But in the next moment, he immediately remembered who this person was. Wasn't this the person who injured Yu Coiling Tiger, crippled the blue-haired expert of the family, and caused a ruckus in the hidden Tang family? If Kong Mingming didn't mention this name, Yu Zhentian might have retreated a little. But when he heard that it was Lin Yi, Yu Zhentian's eyes burned with anger. If it wasn't for Lin Yi, the envoy from the Heavenly Elixir sect wouldn't have been humiliated. Yu Zhentian wasn't blamed by the Heavenly Elixir sect because the envoy was too embarrassed to tell them that he was humiliated. But in order to appease the envoy, the hidden Yu Zhentian had paid a huge price and privately gave the envoy a lot of money and rare alchemy materials. And this Lin Yi was the Yu family's greatest enemy. When Yu Zhentian heard that Guan Shueming's backer was Lin Yi, he was even more confident in dealing with Guan Shueming. "Why, young master Yu, do you know this person?" Kong Mingming was confused by Yu Zhentian's reaction. He. Of course we know each other. We are enemies. Yu Zhentian sneered and said, "We can hide the fact that the Yu family is involved in this matter, but you must keep it a secret for us. Don't let the news get out. If anything happens, we will say that the Kong family did it. Can you agree?" Yu Zhentian had more considerations. First, he was afraid of being blamed by the hidden Tang family's arbitration association. Second, Lin Yi was related to the Ice Palace. Although the hidden Yu family had a backer, it was best not to cause any trouble. Of course. Kong Xiaoming didn't even think about it. House Kong had already fallen out with Lin Yi, so he didn't care about anything else. They could use this opportunity to show Lin Yi Kong family's strength. Lin Yi Kong family also had experts. This was Kong Mingming's intention. He couldn't wait for the Kong family to be in the limelight. Because this was the only way to defeat Lin Yi in a dominant manner. Only then could they show the other members of the Cultivator Association that the Kong family was very powerful. What about Old Master Kong? Yu Zhentian turned to look at Dr. Kong. Of course. Xiaoming's intention is our Kong family's intention. Dr. Kong had the same thought as Kong Mingming. He couldn't wait for others to think this was the Kong family's doing. Only then could they establish their authority. All right. If that's the case, the Yu family will send experts. Yu Zhentian nodded. But I can't show up. That's not a problem. But the experts that young Master Yu sends have to listen to my command. Otherwise, it'll be hard for me to do things. Kong Mingming said. All right, our men are all under your command. I only want results. Yu Zhentian didn't care about this. He let Kong Mingming do whatever he wanted as long as it didn't implicate the Yu family. Alright, can you send a heaven stage expert? That way, we can suppress Lin Yi. Kong Mingming said. I'm afraid that won't work. Yu Zhentian rejected Kong Mingming's suggestion. The number of heaven stage experts in the hidden family level is limited. If something happens, it's easy to guess who did it. Moreover, with the Kong family's current strength, do you think it's possible for you to have a heaven stage expert? Even if you say it out, no one will believe it. They will definitely suspect that there's an inside story. Then, Kong Mingming was a little disappointed. He wanted to control a heaven stage expert. Lin Yi is an earth stage early stage expert. Sigh, this is a little difficult. Yu Zhentian pondered for a while and said, Earth stage experts are rare in the secular world. They almost don't exist. It's already strange that the Kong family has one. Moreover, the higher the level of strength, the easier it is to be suspected. How about this, we'll send an Earth stage middle stage expert to help you. This way, he'll be 2 levels higher than Lin Yi and can completely defeat him. That's fine too. Although Kong Mingming didn't reach his expectations, Yu Zhentian was right. Who would believe that the Kong family had a heaven stage expert? As for why there's an earth stage expert, you can think of a reason to make it up. Don't involve our hidden Yu family. Yu Zhentian said. Of course. Kong Mingming nodded. Alright, then it's settled. I'll go back and find a suitable candidate and send him over. Yu Zhentian said and prepared to leave. Wait a minute. Kong Mingming stopped Yu Zhentian again. Young Master Kong, is there anything else? Yu Xintian's attitude towards Kong Mingming was much better this time. He realized that this kid had a lot of tricks up his sleeves, so he gave him some face. Young Master Yu, this matter has been discussed. Then shouldn't we talk about whether our Kong family helped you hide the Yu family and did such a big thing? Are there any benefits? Kong Mingming had recently read a few black-bellied books. Although he was still a playboy, the way he handled things was much better than before. Oh. Our Yu family is secretly helping you. When we get the formula, we'll both have a share. What's wrong with that? Yu Xintian asked. The formula isn't some other treasure. Can't we just make another copy? Hashtag. Chapter 1736. Sun Jingyi's worries, that's true, but in the end, our Kong family might not be able to refine this formula. Moreover, our Kong family is in the limelight because of this. If we don't get any benefits, we will be at a disadvantage. Kong Mingming said with a bitter face. If that's the case. Yu Xintian hesitated for a moment, then said, in the future, our hidden Yu family can help your Kong family in secret, and we can also refine some rare medicinal pills for you to sell, but you must not expose this layer of identity. This way, it was equivalent to the hidden Yu family finding a spokesperson in the secular world, and they could even earn some money. It was a win-win situation. Of course, when the time comes, our Kong family will unite with the Shao family through marriage. To the outside world, we will say that we have the support of the Shao family and the hidden house Pai. We will not let the hidden Yu family be involved in this matter. Dr. Kong didn't expect Yu Xintian to give the Kong family benefits, and he was even more optimistic about his grandson, Kong Mingming. In fact, Kong Ming was just asking with the mentality of trying it out. Anyway, they were partners. If he made more requests, the hidden Yu family wouldn't do anything to the Kong family, so he might as well give it a try. After the matter was settled, Yu Xintian left the Kong family with his follower, Yu San. At the same time, a few families close to Lin Yi, Old Man Song reacted, and on the other side, Old Man Sun also reacted. After Old Man Sun returned to the Sun family with Sun Jingyi and Sun Yikai, he held a family meeting and announced two important decisions. The first decision was that Sun Yikai was appointed as the next heir of the Sun family by Old Man Sunday. This decision made Sun Yikai's elder brother and Sun Yikai's uncle a little shocked and angry, but Old Man Sun had always been a man of his word. Moreover, they also knew what happened at the meeting. This was the rule set by the Earth-class master. If they were dissatisfied, it was useless to talk to Old Man Sunday. If they had the ability to argue with Lin Yi, why not? But, did they dare to? Therefore, they could only be angry but did not dare to say anything. They could only be angry about Old Master Sun's appointment, but did not dare to say anything. The second important decision was to stop interfering with Sun Jingyi's marriage and let Sun Jingyi return to the family so that she could manage some of the family's businesses and work together with Sun Yikai as a liaison for the Cultivator Association. Of course, Grandpa's son also hinted that Sun Jingyi's main task was to build a good relationship with Lin Yi. As for the company in Donghai, she didn't need to run it anymore. She could just sell it because Sun Jingyi didn't need to prove anything to her family. Regarding this decision, although Sun Jingyi was a little embarrassed, she was also very happy. She finally didn't need to run away from home to open a company to prove anything. In the family, she also had a certain amount of freedom. As long as the family didn't force her to marry someone she didn't like, she would be satisfied. And as a girl, it was too tiring to work hard outside, so Sun Jingyi happily decided to sell the company and focus on taking care of the family's business. Moreover, she was also under the family's order to contact Lin Yi, which made her a little happy, but after feeling happy, Sun Jingyi suddenly froze. Why was she so happy? Was it because of the family's recognition and gave her a certain amount of freedom, or was it because she could see Lin Yi often? Could it be that she fell in love with Lin Yi? Sun Jingyi was a little lost. In the past, she never thought about this problem. She only thought about how to get rid of the restrictions of her family and Wuxia Tian, but she never had the time to think about her own love. But once she relaxed, she couldn't help but think in this direction, thinking back to how she and Lin Yi met. It was a little strange. Wuxia Tian, who was always arrogant, was defeated in front of Lin Yi. This made Sun Jingyi surprised for the first time in her life. This person could actually defeat Wuxia Tian, who came from a noble house, and even took advantage of him, stealing his wallet. This made Sun Jingyi feel a little strange. When she asked about Lin Yi's profession, Lin Yi actually told her that he was a pirate. As she got to know more about Lin Yi, Sun Jingyi suddenly realized that Lin Yi was a lot stronger than she thought. And after that, Wuxia Tian became Lin Yi's follower, surprising Sun Jingyi. It was then that Sun Jingyi realized that she didn't understand Lin Yi at all. There were still many things she didn't know, and this meeting of the noble houses once again made Sun Jingyi see Lin Yi again. He'd managed to influence the entire noble house meeting by himself, and even after Shuixing had taken the pill, he'd managed to turn the tables and turn the situation around. Sun Jingyi couldn't believe her eyes. In the blink of an eye, Lin Yi's position had replaced House Yu's, becoming the core of these noble houses. He even created the Practitioners' Association, replacing the noble house meeting. All these miracles had happened to the great bandit that he had met by chance in a bar, and he had done it all on his own. If Sun Jingyi hadn't seen it with her own eyes, Sun Jingyi would have found it hard to believe. Was this still the Lin Yi she knew, the one who was occasionally cold and joking around? Lin Yi's strength made Sun Jingyi's heart feel a little fuzzy. The master of House Yu arrived. This person didn't look like much, and there was nothing special about him. If he were to blend in with the crowd, it would be impossible to tell him apart. And such a person was an Earth-class mid-phase master. This was a risky thing to do, and if something went wrong, they couldn't bring out House Yu to avoid being blamed by the hidden Noble House Association. But at the same time, the rewards promised by House Yu were extremely generous. Once this was done, the hidden House Yu promised to give him a large amount of lesser qi gathering pills to help him train. The difference between lesser qi gathering pills and other pills was that lesser qi gathering pills weren't pure, and the increase in strength from each pill was limited. However, there wouldn't be any negative side effects after ingesting it, and one could continue to absorb the energy from nature. With a generous reward, there would always be a brave man, and so this Earth-class master hid his identity and came to House Kong to participate in the kidnapping plan. Just as House Kong was celebrating, Xiaolong's lips curled into a sinister smile. He'd been waiting for this chance for far too long, and it was finally here. That night, when House Kong held a meeting to discuss how to kidnap Guan Xian and how to get the recipe, Xiaolong brought up his own idea. Hashtag. Chapter 1737. The operation this time is too risky. As far as I know, that Lin Yi isn't someone to be trifled with. It's not a good thing for House Kong to be in the limelight. Xiaolong said sarcastically. Don't we have the support of the hidden House Yu? What are you afraid of? Kong Xiaoming wasn't happy that his big brother suddenly poured cold water on him. Kong Xiaoming naturally knew what his big brother was thinking. He thought that Kong Xiaoming was too capable and that he was better than him, so he wouldn't have a place in the family anymore. Little brother, it's not that I'm a big brother, but the hidden House Yu said that they can only help us in secret. We can't tell anyone about this. So if something goes wrong and Lin Yi comes back, won't our House Kong be finished? Big brother, I understand what you mean. You just want to cut ties with them, right? Kong Mingming sneered and said, if Lin Yi really comes looking for trouble, I'll take responsibility for what I did. I'll take responsibility. That's good. I'm just thinking about the overall benefit of House Kong. I'm not targeting you. Although Xiaolong saw the huge benefits in this matter, at the same time, there was also a huge risk. If Lin Yi came looking for them and the hidden house you didn't care, then House Kong would be in danger. So Xiaolong made it clear first. If nothing went wrong, he would just be a villain for nothing. But if something went wrong, he would be a hero and could regain his position in House Kong. Xiaolong has a point. Although the benefits this time are great, we can't let the whole House Kong get involved. Dr. Kong was also a careful person. He nodded and said, "But Zhao Ming, it's really hard on you this time. Grandpa, I'm a disciple of House Kong. Naturally, I have to contribute to the development of House Kong." Kong Ming said, "I'll tell the public about this. I did it myself. It has nothing to do with House Kong. Okay, we House Kong won't participate in the next plan. You and the masters of House Yu will plan it. We'll just pretend we don't know anything." Xiaolong pushed the blame away completely. "Alright, then let's move out today." Xiaolong's words were chilling, but it was exactly what Kong Ming wanted. Without the participation of the other members of the Kong Ming, all the credit for this matter belonged to him alone. Moreover, he had absolute confidence that he could complete this mission. So what if Lin Yi was an Earth-class early-phase master? On his side, wasn't there another Earth-class mid-phase master? Let's see if Lin Yi has the ability to reverse the situation. Of course, Kong Ming still had a way out. His actions seemed impulsive, but there was a deeper meaning behind them. Once the matter was exposed and he had nowhere to go, he could seek refuge in the hidden Right family. In his opinion, he had wholeheartedly worked for the Yu family, and this time there was a problem. The Yu family couldn't just sit back and do nothing, right? As long as he took refuge in the Yu family, wouldn't the problem be solved? If he could learn more about alchemy from the Yu family, that would be amazing. Kong Ming had been planning to kidnap Guan Xian for a long time, but he didn't have the right opportunity to make a move. He was also afraid of Lin Yi's strength, so Kong Ming didn't make a move. Now that he had the support of the hidden Right family, Kong Ming wasn't afraid of anything. This master from the Yu family didn't have a name. In fact, Kong Ming knew that he didn't want to expose his identity, so he gave himself the name Yu Shisan. But it didn't matter. Kong Ming didn't want to know his name. Kong Ming was very fast. The second day after moving out of the Kong family, Guan Xian disappeared. Guan Shuamin was the same as usual. The servant Nanny Lu prepared dinner, and he sat at the dining table reading the newspaper, waiting for Guan Xian to come back from work. Guan Xian could have quit right now, but she said that she wanted to be on her last shift. After leaving the hospital, she might never be able to return to her job as a nurse, so she treasured the last moments she had left. "Professor Guan, the food is cold. Do you want to call Xin and ask her if she's working overtime?" Nanny Lu looked at the food on the table and asked Guan Shuamin, who was engrossed in reading the newspaper. "Oh. What time is it?" Guan Shuamin was slightly stunned, putting down the newspaper in his hand. "It's already past 8 in the evening. Normally, if Xin isn't on duty or working overtime, she should be home around 6. Nanny Lu said. "I'll call and ask." Guan Shuamin frowned slightly. Guan Xian always got off work on time. Even if she was working overtime, she would call to inform him. So, he wasn't used to the sudden lack of news from her today. He called Guan Xian's phone, and it was picked up quickly. However, it wasn't Guan Xian who picked up the phone, but an unfamiliar man's voice. "Hello." The voice was lazy, as if victory was in his grasp. Isn't this Xin's phone number? Who are you?" Guan Shuamin paused and looked at the number he dialed. He couldn't help but feel a little confused. "Miracle Dr. Guan, I thought you didn't care about your granddaughter anymore. It's been so long, what a surprise." The man said slowly. "It's been 2 hours, but it's not that long. I was thinking that if you didn't call me in 5 hours, I'd kill the hostage." I don't have that much time to play with you. Kill the hostage. Guan Shuamin paused. Who are you, really? What do you want? Where's Xin? What happened? Miracle Dr. Guan, you're so knowledgeable. Can't you guess who I am? Of course I'm the kidnapper. This man was Kong Ming Ming. He'd successfully kidnapped Guan Xian, and was planning to use her to get the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing recipe from Guan Shuamin. Xin's in your hands. Guan Shuamin had been too worried before, but he calmed down after hearing Kong Ming Ming's words. What do you want? What do you want? Miracle Dr. Guan, you're a straightforward person. Kong Ming Ming said. If you want your granddaughter to be safe, you only need to pay a small price, Miracle Dr. Guan. How much do you want? Guan Shuamin asked. Isn't it tacky to talk about money? Kong Ming Ming shook his head. I don't want money. Then what do you want? Guan Shuamin was a little confused after hearing Kong Ming Ming's words. If the kidnapper didn't want money, then what did he want? Guan Shuamin asked without batting an eyelid. Miracle Dr. Guan, I heard that you have the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. I wonder if you can give me a copy. Kong Ming Ming said straightforwardly. Chapter 1738. Of course, you don't have to give it to me, but your granddaughter isn't that safe. At least she's safe right now. So that's what you want. Guan Shuamin paused after hearing the other's intentions. Are you from House Kong? Currently, the only one competing with Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company was House Kang's medical company. If there was someone who desperately wanted the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing's recipe, then House Kong would be the most suspicious. So Guan Shuamin's first suspicion was House Kong. Kong Ming Ming thought that Guan Shuamin was smart. Who I am isn't important. What's important is whether you're going to give it to me or not. Miracle Dr. Guan, you're a smart man. It's just a recipe. You won't die if you copy it. But if you don't, someone will. How can I trust you? You want me to listen to Xian's voice? Guan Shuamin frowned. I can't hear her voice. She's not with me. But if you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do. Kong Ming Ming said. I don't like to waste my breath. If Miracle Dr. Guan doesn't believe me, then there's nothing we can do. You'll have to collect your granddaughter's corpse tomorrow. With that, Kong Ming Ming hung up. He believed that Guan Shuamin would call again. As expected, Guan Shuamin called again very quickly. Kong Ming Ming picked it up leisurely. Hello. Miracle Dr. Guan, there's no need to be in such a hurry, is there? I don't care who you are. You better let Xian go, or I'll call the police. Guan Shuamin said. No matter who you are, you won't be able to get away with it. Call the police. I'm so scared. Kong Ming Ming curled his lips. Even if you call the police, you'll have to be able to find me first. To tell you the truth, it's impossible for you to use a mobile phone to locate me. I've transferred this number from overseas several times. There's no way you can find me. Don't waste your energy. If you call the police, then there's nothing to talk about. I can only kill the hostage, and we'll part ways. Wait. Guan Shuamin saw that Kong Ming Ming was about to hang up again, so he quickly stopped him. By calling the police, Guan Shuamin was just trying to scare the other party. He wanted to see how confident the other party was. From the looks of it, since the other party dared to do such a thing, it meant that they were well prepared. This was different from ordinary kidnappers. The other party should have made a complete plan. It seemed that there was really no room for negotiation. That was because the other party's goal was very clear. They wanted the formula for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. This was different from asking for a ransom. There was no room for negotiation. What's wrong, Miracle Dr. Guan? Is your granddaughter's life more important, or is the formula more important? Kong Mingming asked happily. He knew that Guan Shuamin was going to give in. I can't make the decision about the formula. I'll have to ask around. After all, the company doesn't belong to me alone. Guan Shuamin said helplessly. He could only ask for Lin Yi's opinion on this matter. The formula belonged to Lin Yi. If Lin Yi didn't give it to him, then he could only resign himself to fate. Then go ask around. I'll be waiting for your reply. Kong Mingming hung up. Miracle Dr. Guan hesitated for a moment before dialing Lin Yi's number. He was a little embarrassed, but he had no choice. He could only trouble Lin Yi for this. The other party had made it very clear that he wanted the formula in exchange for Guan Xian's safety. Only Lin Yi could make the decision. At this moment, Lin Yi had just left the province. He found an express hotel with Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu. After dinner, Meng Yao, and Skybolt Pig were playing with General Weiwu. As for the lion, it was left with Wu Qintian. Rest early, we still have a long way to go tomorrow. Lin Yi said as he looked at the three who were having fun. And, let's play for a while more. General Weiwu and Skybolt Pig were staying in the villa's backyard. Meng Yao and the others didn't pay attention to it, but they realized that General Weiwu was teaching Skybolt Pig martial arts during their journey. And it looked like it was the real deal. They thought that it was very interesting and watched from the side. But Lin Yi knew that Skybolt Pig didn't have any attacking abilities. The things General Weiwu taught him could save his life in a critical moment. Lin Yi was about to say something when his phone rang. Lin Yi looked at the caller ID and picked it up. Elder Guan, why are you calling me at this hour? What's up? Something happened to Xian. Guan Shuamin didn't say much and went straight to the point. Xian was kidnapped. What? Guan Xian's been kidnapped? Lin Yi paused. What's going on? Elder Guan, don't scare me. Xian got off work today and didn't come home on time. I called her, and it was an unfamiliar man's voice. With that, Shuamin explained the whole story. The kidnappers only want the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, so I suspect that it's our competitor. It might be House Kong. House Kong. Lin Yi nodded. Shuamin's analysis wasn't unreasonable, but something like this happening at a time like this made Lin Yi feel helpless. Lin Yi was out of town and Guan Xian was kidnapped. If Lin Yi wanted to save her, he had to go back. I understand your difficulties. If you can't do it, then forget it. After all, the formula is very precious and important. I'll think of another way. Guan Shuamin heard Lin Yi's silence and thought that Lin Yi didn't want to give him the formula. Elder Guan, you misunderstood. It's not that I don't want to give it to you, but I'm out of town and I can't go back. Lin Yi had already made his decision. How about this, I'll text you the formula, and you can use it to exchange for Xian's safety. Although Lin Yi hated the feeling of being threatened, it would be troublesome for Lin Yi to go back now. He might as well compromise and give the formula to Guan Shuamin for Guan Xian. Once Lin Yi returned to Songshan, he could take his revenge on the mastermind. Lin Yi didn't believe that the mastermind wouldn't make the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing after getting the formula. Whoever made the pill would know who the mastermind was, so Lin Yi wasn't in a hurry. Guan Shuamin didn't think that Lin Yi would agree so easily. He didn't know what to do. Don't force yourself. Chapter 1739. Elder Guan, look at what you're saying, isn't it just a recipe? It's nothing to me, it's nothing compared to XIN's safety, Lin Yi smiled. Alright, let's not waste any more time. I'll send you the recipe right now. Alright. Alright. Thank you so much. Xuemin said excitedly. Naturally, he knew the value of this recipe. The pills had been sold for sky-high prices back at the auction, and this recipe was even more priceless. And now, Lin Yi was giving it away just like that. How could he not be touched? After hanging up, Lin Yi started to think about it. Just give away the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing? He wasn't that kind of guy. Plus, that wasn't Lin Yi's style at all. Lin Yi remembered reading from Zhang Liju's notes that there was a pill called the Great Foundation Establishment Pill, the Bone Cleansing Pill. Its effects were similar to the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, but it was a little more powerful than it. And so, Lin Yi opened up the notes and found the recipe for the bone cleansing and bone cleansing pill. He then started making up the recipe based on his own pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Lin Yi had been studying Zhang Liju's notes for a while now. His skills didn't improve much, but his knowledge of medicinal properties and pharmacology had improved by leaps and bounds. The best of the best had two skills, one was an extremely high level of control over the refinement fire, and the other was the ability to create their own recipes, simplifying and replacing the recipes. Just like back then, when Zhang Liju simplified the qi gathering pill that had no side effects into the current qi gathering pill. Lin Yi, on the other hand, didn't have much attainment in controlling the refinement fire, but he had a solid foundation in medicine. His skills weren't any worse than Zhang Liju's, and it could even be said that the old man's knowledge of medicinal properties and pharmacology had far surpassed Zhang Liju's level. Because of something that happened years ago, the old man had spent decades researching medicine and medicinal properties, and so Lin Yi was very familiar with medicine and medicinal properties under the influence of this since he was young. Changing prescriptions was a common thing for Lin Yi, and changing prescriptions wasn't much different from changing prescriptions. Of course, the requirements for the recipe would be different from before, and the requirements for the refiner would be different as well. But the main problem was that Lin Yi didn't care about that. He was only responsible for providing the recipe, and whether or not they could make it was House Kang's problem. 10 minutes later, a completely different pill formula was produced. Only a grade 3 apothecary and above could forge it. Furthermore, there were many valuable medicinal herbs in it. Even if the cost of this pill was not in the hundreds of millions, it would be at least 70 to 80 million. Moreover, this was based on a 100% success rate. For an average pill master, if they could have a success rate of 20% to 30%, it was already not bad. A slightly more powerful 5th-tier pill master, refining a 3rd-tier pill master's success rate was only around 50%. Thus, this imperceptibly increased the cost of the pill, causing the value of a single pill to rise to between 200 million to 500 million. The effects of this pill were similar to the life extension and toxin cleansing pill. It was much stronger than the foundation establishment pill, but it was still inferior to the true marrow and bone cleansing pill, which was the great foundation establishment pill. But the pill of bone and marrow cleansing was much harder to make, and the ingredients were rarer as well, so Lin Yi's pill of life extension and toxin cleansing was the difference between the two, and it was no wonder that the hidden house Yu was so eager for it. After making this fraudulent recipe, Lin Yi sent a text to the anxiously waiting Guan Xuemin. Guan Xuemin felt like a year, waiting for half a day without a message from Lin Yi. He was a little uneasy, wondering if Lin Yi would send him the recipe. Although Lin Yi had agreed, his phone hadn't buzzed for so long, and Guan Xuemin was afraid that Lin Yi was just being perfunctory. Fortunately, Guan Xuemin's phone soon received a text from Lin Yi. "I'm sorry, Elder Guan. The recipe is in my notebook, and I had to make a copy, so I wasted some time. The recipe is as follows." The text was from Lin Yi. Lin Yi naturally couldn't tell Guan Shuamin that he'd tampered with the contents of the recipe. After all, Guan Shuamin was a very honest person, and Lin Yi was afraid that he'd let the Kang slip. Guan Shuamin didn't dare delay after receiving the recipe. He quickly dialed Guan Xian's number again. "Miracle Dr. Guan, how is it? Are there any results? I'm getting a little impatient." Kong Mingming's voice sounded again. "There are only a few people in your company, is it so hard to make a decision?" "This. I've already discussed it. I can give you the recipe, but you must guarantee Xian's safety," Guan Shuamin said. "Otherwise, I won't let you go, haha, of course. We people in the underworld have rules. If you give me the recipe, I'll naturally let your granddaughter go. She can't make medicine anyway, so what's the point of having her?" Kong Xiaoming actually had his eyes on Guan Xian, but he didn't want to blow things up. He didn't want to cause more trouble, so getting the formula was the most important thing. "Alright, I'll send the recipe to Xian's phone. Let her go after you receive it," Guan Shuamin said. "Don't, the call is forwarded, so you can only receive voice messages. I'll give you an email address, just send it to me," Kong Mingming said. "That's fine." Guan Shuamin nodded. "But after you receive the email, you must let Xian go as soon as possible." "Of course, but I need to confirm the authenticity of the recipe first. If it's fake, then we'll have no choice but to kill her," Kong Mingming said. "You know what happens when you make a fool out of us. Confirm the authenticity. Doesn't that mean I'll have to wait for you to make the pill before I let Xian go?" Guan Shuamin frowned, a little unhappy. "There's no need to take so long. We just need to study the pharmacology and properties." Kong Mingming had the hidden Yu family behind him. Naturally, they didn't need to wait for the pill to be made. With their experience, they could know the authenticity of the recipe with a little bit of analysis and simulation. "Alright, tell me the email address." Guan Shuamin breathed a sigh of relief. Kong Mingming gave Guan Shuamin an email address. Of course, it was a free email address in a foreign country. Guan Shuamin sent the recipe word by word according to Lin Yi's text message, and then called Kong Mingming to inform him. As for Kong Xiaoming, the first thing he did after receiving the call was log into his mailbox and received the prescription. Chapter 1740. Greed. This prescription requires an alchemist. Kong Mingming looked at the prescription on the computer and was slightly stunned. No wonder his family couldn't come up with anything after researching for so long. The result of their research was a pile of dog sh*t. It turned out that it required a higher-level alchemist to refine it. It wasn't a problem of his family's ability, it was just that their standards weren't high enough. Kong Mingming couldn't understand the prescription either, but he forwarded it to Yu Xintian's mailbox. Kong Mingming didn't expect Guan Shuamin to compromise so easily. From his point of view, Guan Shuamin should have gone to Lin Yi, and with Lin Yi's personality, he should have gone to Guan Xian and rescued her first. He would only hand over the prescription after being humiliated by the Yu family's Earth-class expert. However, none of this happened. Guan Shuamin directly took out the prescription. This made Kong Ming feel a little regretful. This was really a case of wearing out iron shoes in fruitless searching, only to find it without even looking for it. If he knew this would happen, he wouldn't have cooperated with the Yu family. He could have just found a few hoodlums to kidnap Guan Xian. When he obtained the prescription, his bargaining chips with the Yu family would be much higher than now. But things had already come to this. There was nothing Kong Mingming could do about it even if he regretted it. Instead, he let the hidden Yu family gain a huge advantage. Of course, the authenticity of the prescription hadn't been confirmed yet, so it was still too early to regret. After Yu Zhentian received the email, he saw that the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing could only be refined by an alchemist above the 3rd level, but he wasn't surprised. This was because Yu Zhentian knew that Lin Yi was an alchemist. Although he didn't know his strength, it wasn't surprising that such a heaven-defying pill came from an alchemist. Therefore, Yu Zhentian took Lin Yi's tampering as a matter of course. This was the so-called appearance causing trouble. Yu Zhentian took a simple look at the prescription and found that the medicinal properties were extremely reasonable. Simply put, there was no problem with this prescription. Everyone who refined pills knew that if one of the ingredients was used improperly, it could cause the furnace to explode. However, this prescription obviously didn't have that risk. Yu Zhentian did not believe that Guan Shuimin or Lin Yi could forge such a reasonable pill formula in such a short time. Unless this was not the pill formula for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. If it was, then there should be no problem. One had to know that people who could change the pill recipe at will were all top alchemists. Not to mention the hidden Yu family, even the heavenly elixir sect did not have such talents. Yu Zhentian quickly printed out the prescription and gave it to the current helmsman of the Yu family, Old Master Yu Taishan. Father, the elixir formula is in my hands. Please take a look and verify its authenticity. Yu Zhentian presented the elixir formula with both hands and handed it to Yu Taishan to take a look. Oh. The efficiency of the Kong family is quite fast. You got the pill formula in such a short time. Yu Taishan took the pill formula with some surprise and said, "Have you seen it? Is there a problem with this pill formula?" From what I can see, there are no problems with the medicinal properties and the medicinal properties. There won't be an explosion. However, I'm not too sure if the pill formula is the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Yu Zhentian said. Alright, I'll take a look first. Yu Taishan nodded. He was quite confident in this son of his. His son was very perceptive when it came to alchemy, so if he said there was no problem, there was basically no problem. After a period of careful deliberation, Yu Zhentian nodded slowly and raised his head. Not bad. This pill formula should have been developed based on the foundation of the Foundation Establishment pill. Although I don't know how it compares to the legendary marrow and bone cleansing pill, its effects should definitely be much stronger than the Foundation Establishment pill. In other words, this pill formula is real. Yu Zhentian was overjoyed when he heard that. I think it's real, but we still have to ask the people from the Heavenly Elixir sect to take a look. As long as they confirm it, there won't be any problems. Yu Taishan looked at the pill formula with some joy and some heartache. Although this pill formula doesn't look fake, the medicinal ingredients in this pill formula are extremely precious. The cost to refine the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing isn't low. Many of the medicinal ingredients are priceless and can't be produced in a year, that doesn't matter. The Heavenly Elixir sect has its own herb garden anyway. Yu Zhentian said, then I'll contact the emissary from the Heavenly Elixir sect and let them take a look at this pill formula. If it's real, then our Yu family has made a great contribution this time. Our status in the Heavenly Elixir sect will also rise. Haha, if it's real, then don't mistreat the Kong family. This Kong family is not bad. Yu Taishan was very satisfied with the Kong family's efficiency. Previously, he had viewed this cooperation with an indifferent attitude. He didn't expect to reap such unexpected rewards. Yes, father. Yu Zhentian nodded and went to contact the emissary from the Heavenly Elixir sect. Soon, the Heavenly Elixir sect replied that the pill formula was real, but the refining conditions were a little harsh. However, this wasn't a problem. As long as the pill formula was real, it was fine. As for how to refine it, that was a problem for the future. The Heavenly Elixir sect replied to the Hidden Yu family, and Yu Zhentian naturally replied to Kong Ming immediately. Zhao Ming, you're really a good young man. You have a bright future. Things have progressed so smoothly this time. You've made a great contribution. Yu Zhentian already knew the authenticity of the pill formula, so he naturally didn't hesitate to praise Kong Mingming. Oh. Young Master Yu, so, that pill formula is real? Kong Mingming was overjoyed when he heard Yu Zhentian's words. It's real. Yu Zhentian said, but this isn't a pill formula, it's a pill formula. I guess your Kong family can't refine it. When we refine it, the sales and the secular world will be given to your Kong family. We won't let you work for nothing. Our hidden Yu family is very clear about gratitude and grudges. Great, thank you, young Master Yu. Kong Mingming was overjoyed when he heard Yu Zhentian's promise. By the way, young Master Yu, I still want to ask Guan Shuamin for a few formulas. Can you let Master Yu Shisan cooperate with me? No problem, as you wish. Yu Zhentian waved his hand and said indifferently. This time, the hidden Yu family was praised and rewarded by the heavenly elixir sect. The rewards were also very generous, so Yu Zhentian naturally wouldn't be stingy with Kong Mingming, a great contributor. Thank you so much, young Master Yu. Kong Mingming quickly thanked him. Guan Shuamin's previous straightforwardness made Kong Mingming have other thoughts. Sometimes, when a person's greed comes, it can't be stopped. Kong Mingming was like that. He saw how easily he got the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, so he wanted the other two formulas from Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company. Hashtag. Chapter 1741. Lin Yi's Fury, Part 1, Miracle Dr. Guan's injury medicine and pain medicine were popular products. Because of their low prices, the market responded well. Miracle Dr. Kang's golden creations cost was too high, and they couldn't sell it at a loss. So, they weren't a match for Miracle Dr. Guan's medicine company. So, Kong Xiaoming came up with another plan. If he got the formula from Miracle Dr. Guan's company, then Dr. Kang's company might not be able to suppress Miracle Dr. Guan's company, but they could be on par with Miracle Dr. Guan's company. At that time, he would be the savior of House Kong. The position of the head of House Kong would belong to him, Kong Mingming. So, Kong Mingming thought for a while and called Yu Shisan. He told him not to let Guan Xian go, and to keep an eye on Guan Xian. Then, Kong Mingming called Guan Shuamin again. Hello. Now that you got the formula, shouldn't you keep your promise and let her go? Guan Shuamin picked up the phone and asked anxiously. He didn't have the calmness he usually had. Guan Xian was his favorite granddaughter, and now that something happened to her, he couldn't stay calm. Miracle Dr. Guan, this prescription of yours requires an alchemist to refine it. It's too troublesome to verify it, so we're worried. Kong Xiaoming began to make a big fuss. You're right. Then what do you want? Are you going back on your word? Miracle Dr. Guan's voice was filled with anger. Hee, we won't go back on our word, but if you give us a fake formula, wouldn't we be losing big time? So, you'll have to pay a little more security, or else it'll be hard for us to let her go. Kong Mingming said. Security? You're going back on your word. Guan Shuamin said angrily, how can you go back on your word? We agreed that you'll let Xian go if we give you the formula, and now you want security. Don't be angry, Miracle Dr. Guan. It's hard for us to continue this conversation with your current mood. Why don't we talk after you've calmed down? Kong Mingming purposely said in a superior tone. Guan Shuamin was about to explode, but his granddaughter was in their hands, so he didn't dare to get angry. He could only say, how much more money do you want? What do you want? Tell me clearly. Money? I've already said it, isn't it tacky to talk about money? Could it be that Miracle Dr. Guan's memory is bad and he's muddled from anger? Kong Mingming said. I don't need money. What security deposit do you need? Guan Shuamin asked. Miracle Dr. Guan, we'll let your granddaughter go if you give us the prescription for the injury medicine and painkiller as collateral. I'll return them to you after I verify that the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing is real, Kong Mingming said. Prescriptions aren't money. You'll know once I give them to you. What's the point of giving them back to me? Guan Xuemin was amused by Kong Mingming's angry, this guy was greedy and insatiable. He wasn't satisfied after asking for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, he was asking for other prescriptions. Heh, Miracle Dr. Guan, you're a smart one. I won't say anything more. Deal or no deal? Just give me a straight answer. Kong Mingming didn't bother explaining. If it's okay, then I'll let her go. If not, then I'll let her go after I verify the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. But I can't guarantee Guan Xian's safety in the meantime, heh, you know what I mean. Guan Xuemin didn't expect Kong Mingming to be this shameless, but this wasn't the time to piss him off. He could only say, then I'll discuss it and get back to you. That's right. Let's go discuss it. Kong Xiaoming said happily when he heard that there was hope. Miracle Dr. Guan hung up the phone, his chest heaving with anger. He let out a long sigh of relief and dialed Lin Yi's number again. He didn't want to trouble Lin Yi, but for his granddaughter, he had no choice but to sacrifice his dignity. The call went through quickly. Lin Yi was concerned about Guan Xian's safety as well, so he quickly asked, how's it going, Elder Guan? Did they let Xian go after they got the prescription? Ugh. Guan Xuemin sighed, a bitter smile on his face. They're too greedy. They said they'd let Xian go after they got the prescription for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, but now they want the prescription for the wound medicine and the painkiller. I'm guessing that they're from Dr. Kang's family, because they're our only competitors. More. Lin Yi frowned, a fire burning in his heart. Was this guy trying to take advantage of him? Did he think he was a pushover? He wasn't satisfied with just the prescription for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, and now he wanted something else. Lin Yi wasn't someone who would let others bully him. He'd explode even in the face of a sky class, let alone Dr. Kang's family. Yeah, but I don't have a choice. If it comes down to it, I'll give up the shares of Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company. I'll work for you for free, and you can use my name for free as well. I only have one granddaughter, Xian. Guan Xuemin was embarrassed to say all this, but he really couldn't give up on Guan Xian. Elder Guan, look at what you're saying. Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Aren't you treating me like an outsider? You took me in as your disciple when I was in trouble, and now you're saying something like this? Plus, Xian's my good friend, and I want to save her. It has nothing to do with you, so you don't have to feel guilty. Thank you so much. It's our fortune to have met you. Guan Xuemin said, touched. Let's not talk about that for now. They're so greedy that they'll probably ask for other things after we give them these two formulas. In the end, we might even have to give them the whole company. Lin Yi said. That's right. I know that, too. This kind of serial scam happens all the time on TV, but I really don't have a choice right now. Guan Xuemin said helplessly. Elder Guan, I'll contact Lingshan and ask her to see if she can find any traces of the kidnappers. I'll rush back to Songshan as fast as I can. You don't have to worry about this, I'll take care of it for you. Lin Yi couldn't take it anymore. Lin Yi gave him one recipe, but he still wanted more. This was too greedy, and Lin Yi's bottom line had been crossed. Naturally, he had to take care of this himself. Right, they didn't want us to call the police, saying that they'd kill the hostage if we did. Guan Xuemin said. Plus, they said that the call had been transferred multiple times, through multiple countries before coming back. Lingshan shouldn't be able to do anything either. Hashtag. Chapter 1742. Chapter 1747, Lin Yi's Fury, Part 2, Pretty Professional, huh? But no problem, leave it to me. Lin Yi nodded and hung up before quickly returning to Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu's room. Something happened to Guan Xian, I have to go back to Songshan. Do you guys want to come with me? Guan Xian. What happened? Tang Yun and the others knew Guan Xian, and it was strange to hear Lin Yi say this. Let's talk on the way. Lin Yi said. Don't waste time. Okay. Tang Yun and the others weren't stupid people. They nodded after seeing how serious Lin Yi was. They quickly packed their things and left the hotel with Lin Yi. Lin Yi started the car and sped off. Lin Yi didn't exceed the speed limit on the way, but this was an emergency, so Lin Yi had no choice but to exceed the speed limit. After turning onto the highway, Lin Yi's car reached its limit, but Lin Yi didn't stop accelerating. Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu felt like they were on a plane. All the other cars on the highway became shadows in their eyes, disappearing in an instant. Lin Yi told Meng Yao and the others about Guan Xian as he drove. At the same time, Lin Yi dialed a number. Eagle? The person on the other side sounded surprised. You're calling me on your own? Ugh. I was just thinking that you're busy, so I won't bother you if there's nothing else. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. The hacker princess always had this hostile tone when he contacted her, as if he was the one who'd pissed her off. Yeah, I'm very busy, I'm so busy that I don't have time to answer your call. I'm hanging up. The hacker princess gritted her teeth. Don't. Lin Yi quickly stopped him. Don't hang up. I'm just kidding. Recently, my mission hasn't ended. There's nothing big, so I didn't contact you. Lin Yi explained. I don't think there's an end to this mission of yours, right? Do you want to marry into a rich girl's family to complete the mission? Hacker princess mocked. Heh. Lin Yi could only smile bitterly at this. Let's not talk about this. I have a serious matter to discuss with you this time. Can you help me check a number? It is said that it has been transferred many times from abroad. Can you locate it? Do you think it's possible? Hacker princess asked, what's the number? The number is. Lin Yi gave Guan Xian's number to hacker princess. Wait a minute, let me check. When it came to business, hacker princess no longer joked with Lin Yi but returned to her usual formal tone. Lin Yi wasn't in a rush. He drove toward Songshan while waiting for the results. I found it. The opponent seems to have a master as well. It's just child's play, hacker princess said. The call went through dozens of transfers and finally came back through an internet call. According to the search, the target's coordinates are in Songshan. Do you have the GPS? I'll tell you the coordinates and you can input it directly. Yes, tell me. Lin Yi turned on the GPS. This was the car Feng Tianlong gave to Lin Yi. It had all the necessary facilities. The coordinates are. Hacker princess said a set of numbers. Lin Yi entered the coordinates and found out that the coordinates were actually the underground arena Air Gooden went to. It was originally an abandoned factory that was transformed into an underground boxing arena. After the underground boxing arena was destroyed, it became an uninhabited ruin. Lin Yi didn't expect House Kong to choose such a place. They were good at choosing. Not only was there no one paying attention to it, but it was also hard to be discovered. Thanks. Lin Yi said to hacker princess. I have something to do today. I'll talk to you another day. I'm very busy. Bye. Hacker princess hung up. Lin Yi shook his head and sped up again. This car was specially modified by Feng Tianlong, and Lin Yi sped up to the max. Lin Yi's car was just a blur in the highway, and nothing could be seen. The passing cars all thought that they were seeing a ghost car. A driver who watched too many sci-fi movies rubbed his eyes. Wow, it's not a UFO, is it? Oh, it feels so good. Yushu had never been in a car this fast before. She screamed. It's even more exciting than a roller coaster. Tang Yun, on the other hand, held Menyao's hand tightly. She was a little scared, and while Mengyao wasn't as scared as Tang Yun, she was still a little nervous. Only that idiot Yushu had no sense of danger at all, just like Xiao Xiao, but Lin Yi wouldn't let the people in the car be in danger. He used qi to protect the car when he was driving. Even if an accident happened, there wouldn't be any danger. We're here. Wait for me here. Don't go in. No matter what happens, wait here. Understand? Lin Yi parked the car in a dark corner far away from the arena and spoke to Meng Yao and the others in a serious tone. Okay, we got it. Don't worry. Tang Yun nodded with a pale face. But you have to be careful. Okay, I'll be careful, Lin Yi said. Although it was dark in the underground boxing field, it could be seen from the two cars parked at the door that there were people in the underground boxing field. Otherwise, no one would park a car in this wilderness. Lin Yi looked at the license plate. It was indeed from Donghai. Now, he was sure that it was done by House Kong. An unknown rage rose in Lin Yi's heart. During the meeting of the noble houses, Lin Yi let House Kong go because House Kong was related to Kong Xiaobo. Lin Yi didn't want to put Kong Xiaobo in a difficult position, so he didn't do anything to them. Plus, House Kong had been suppressed by Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company, and they were struggling at death's door. Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company had taken over most of the market. Their medicine wasn't a problem, but the price was too high. Even if it was an old brand, people wouldn't be able to buy it. After all, people would always choose the cheaper ones. Since the effects were about the same, naturally, they would buy the cheaper ones. But at this moment, Lin Yi couldn't take it anymore. What Kong Mingming did had exceeded Lin Yi's tolerance. Lin Yi suppressed his anger and tiptoed to the arena. As expected, the door was locked from the inside. Hashtag. Chapter 1743. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be a lock here. If there was a lock, it could only mean that there was someone inside. This further proved that Hacker Princess information was correct. Of course, a lock of this level wasn't a problem for Lin Yi at all. Lin Yi had a master uncle who specialized in breaking locks, so Lin Yi learned a little bit of it. However, Lin Yi wasn't a professional researcher, so he didn't study the notebook that his master uncle left him too deeply. As long as it was enough for his daily use, Lin Yi didn't expect himself to become a great thief. After successfully unlocking the door, Lin Yi entered the underground arena. It was no longer as bright as it used to be. It had been empty for a long time, and it had become dilapidated. Leaking rain and broken chairs made the entire arena look dilapidated. Lin Yi's target was the room in the arena. The kidnappers should be hiding in one of the rooms. In the quiet arena, Lin Yi could easily detect the slightest movement. However, while Lin Yi could detect the other party's movement, the other party could also detect Lin Yi's movement. Even if Lin Yi had concealed his aura, even a normal person wouldn't be able to escape the senses of a mid-earth class master, Yushir-san. Moreover, Yushir-san was 2 levels higher than Lin Yi. It wouldn't be difficult for him to sense Lin Yi's arrival. At this moment, Kong Mingming was sitting in front of his computer proudly, waiting for Miracle Dr. Guan's reply. In his mind, he was drawing a beautiful blueprint for the future. His position in the Kong family would be comparable to Grandfather Kong, Kong Mingming couldn't help but laugh out loud. But at this time, Yusher-san suddenly walked out from the inner room and said, "Master Kong, someone's here." "Someone's here?" Kong Mingming was stunned. Who would come to this godforsaken place? "I don't know, but I have a feeling that he's coming towards us. Maybe he's here to rescue the hostage. Be careful." Yusher-san said, "Leave this place to me. Just watch the hostage." "Alright, I'll leave it to you then." Kong Mingming was also shocked. He picked up the computer in his hands and was about to run into the room. But just then, the door was kicked open. Yusher-san had already expected that someone would come, so he was expressionless at the moment. However, Kong Mingming was shocked. He subconsciously shouted, "Who is it?" "It really is you, Kong Mingming." Lin Yi walked into the room and saw Kong Mingming in the room. A fierce look flashed across his eyes. "Lin Yi. You sure are fast." Seeing that Lin Yi was heading there himself, Kong Mingming wasn't afraid anymore. Because there was still an Earth-class mid-phase master here, and he could definitely take care of Lin Yi. "Your opponent is me, young Master Kong. Take care of the hostages," Right 13 said calmly. "Earth-class mid-phase?" Lin Yi also noticed Right 13 at this time, but his strength made Lin Yi's heart skip a beat. He didn't think that the Kong family would be able to invite an Earth-class mid-phase master to hold the fort. But it made sense. The Kong family knew that he was an Earth-class early-phase master, and yet they still dared to provoke him. It was obvious that they had something up their sleeves, and this confidence came from this Earth-class mid-phase master in front of him. Lin Yi didn't dare to be the slightest bit negligent. When he fought Shueisheng, it was a complete fluke. But even so, it wasn't easy. Now that he was facing an opponent 2 levels higher than him, Lin Yi had no choice but to start channeling the art of dragon mastery right from the start and condense a chi bomb. Die. Right 13 didn't answer Lin Yi. Instead, he suddenly raised his hands and prepared to attack Lin Yi. Lin Yi was shocked. He quickly retreated and asked anxiously, "Which force are you from? Why are you interfering with the matters here?" However, Right 13 didn't seem to have any intention of talking nonsense with Lin Yi. He turned a deaf ear to Lin Yi's question. Instead, he shook his wrist and seemed to be channeling his inner force, preparing to use a martial technique. "You. Where are you from?" Lin Yi frowned. When he fought against masters of this level before, they were usually very arrogant. If Lin Yi talked to them, they would always reply with a few words to show how powerful they were. But this person in front of him made Lin Yi miscalculate. He didn't want to talk nonsense with Lin Yi. Lin Yi didn't have the time to condense a chi bomb at all. In fact, if it were any other time, Right 13 would naturally act pretentiously and say a few words of contempt in front of Lin Yi. After all, it was not easy for an expert to reach his level. When he encountered an opponent, it was normal to scold the other party to make him feel satisfied. However, the key problem was that Right 13 came with an order this time. Right Jintian had strictly ordered him not to talk too much lest he revealed the identity of the Right family. Therefore, with Right Jintian's order in front of him, how could Right 13 dare to talk to Lin Yi casually? Since he didn't speak, he couldn't just stand there and stare at each other, right? In that case, he could only fight. Right 13's approach made Lin Yi break out in a cold sweat. All along, Lin Yi had been very conceited. Even in the face of an expert who was 1 or 2 levels higher than him, he would not show weakness. This was because Lin Yi had a trump card. He had a trump card like the Chi Bomb, which could allow him to cross levels to injure the enemy. But now, Lin Yi realized that when this trump card could not be used, he was really weak. The other party's martial arts technique was obviously at the point of perfection, while Lin Yi's own martial arts technique was about the same, just as Lin Yi was thinking, Right 13 had already displayed his martial arts technique. With his left and right palms, as the qi circulated, one could vaguely see that his palms were surrounded by a light green mist. It seemed that this was not the original color of the qi, but the effect of the martial arts technique. With the eruption of the light green mist, Right 13's entire body leaped up like a spring, forming a shadow, and pounced toward Lin Yi with the force of a thunderbolt. Earth-level martial arts technique, Thunderstorm Palm. Accompanied by this roar, Right 13's figure was also right in front of Lin Yi. The cold sweat on Lin Yi's forehead instantly flowed down. Right 13's move actually made him feel breathless. This was a real Earth-level martial arts technique. Previously, when he faced Blue Hair, that guy was also an Earth-level early-stage expert. He was probably like Lin Yi, having just learned martial arts not long ago. Therefore, before he could display it, he was beaten senseless by Lin Yi. However, the person in front of him was different. He was a genuine Earth-level mid-stage expert. Although Lin Yi's cultivation realm was lower than Right 13's, with the current situation, there was no way for Lin Yi to hide. Unless there was a glimmer of hope for him to escape by using nimble Qigong, he had no other choice. But could Lin Yi run now? Chapter 1744. If Lin Yi ran away, there was no telling whether or not He Shan could catch up. Even if He Shan didn't chase after him, if He Shan took Kong Ming Ming and Guan Xian away, then He Shan wouldn't be able to catch up to him. At that time, He Shan would come here for nothing, and it would be difficult to find traces of Kong Ming Ming again. Moreover, it was hard to say what a furious Kong Ming Ming would do. So after weighing the pros and cons, Lin Yi could only bite the bullet and face it head-on. Earth-tier skill, Frenzy Fist. Lin Yi used the skill that Faubert taught him, which he was not familiar with, to face it head-on. But in terms of momentum alone, He Shan was more than a head weaker than He Shan. Boom! Boom! With two loud bangs, the four palms collided, and Lin Yi was sent flying. The collision of the powerful skill and true qi brought about a series of explosions, and this earth-shattering force also sent Lin Yi flying. Lin Yi didn't take it head-on, but took the opportunity to retreat. The ground that Lin Yi's feet passed was all cracked by Lin Yi, which allowed Lin Yi to offset some of the force. But even so, Lin Yi was still seriously injured. Lin Yi spat out a mouthful of blood, and stood up shakily. At this moment, the most injured parts were his palms, and the bones inside were all shattered. This was a head-on collision, and it was a collision with a mid-earth tier master. Naturally, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to get away with it. On the other hand, although He Shan's palms were also hurt by Lin Yi's head-on collision, he didn't suffer any major internal injuries at all. He calmly swung his hands and said, "Kid, you're quite strong, but your strength is too low." "Is it low?" Lin Yi panted heavily. His body was using the art of dragon mastery to heal the injured parts of his body. First, it was his palms. Because the surface area was small, it was easier to heal, but the internal injuries were not so easy to heal. Initially, Lin Yi wanted to buy some time, but Yu Shan didn't continue after saying that. Instead, he raised his palms again and slapped at Lin Yi. This time, it seemed to be even more majestic than before. Die. Right 13's palms instantly arrived in front of Lin Yi. Lin Yi desperately used the art of dragon mastery to protect his heart meridian to avoid being killed by Right 13. The rest of his true qi was used to support his earth-rank martial skill, Frenzied Fire Fist. Boom! Boom! With another two loud sounds, Lin Yi was sent flying again. This time, the situation was obviously not much better than the last time. Lin Yi had no way to retreat this time and directly hit the wall behind him. In an instant, the wall was smashed by the huge impact of Lin Yi. The entire wall cracked and collapsed, turning into a pile of rubble. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was pressed under the rubble. This gave Lin Yi a chance to breathe. Lin Yi once again used the art of dragon mastery to heal the injuries on his palms and body. Although there was not much time, he would heal as much as he could. Lin Yi didn't know if he could wait until he recovered from his injuries to condense a true qi bomb, but Lin Yi had to work hard. Of course, Yushir-san didn't give Lin Yi much time. When he saw that Lin Yi hadn't walked out of the ruins, he didn't have the patience to wait. Instead, he used the earth-level martial arts technique again and slammed it at the pile of rubble. "Damn, can't you rest for a while?" Lin Yi almost cried. It was the first time he had seen such an opponent. He only attacked without speaking, so Lin Yi couldn't use his trump card of stalling for time to condense a true qi bomb. Lin Yi had no choice but to bite the bullet and stand up from the ruins. He waved his palms to meet the attack head-on. Boom! Boom! With another 2 loud bangs, Lin Yi was sent flying once more. Wahahaha, Lin Yi, weren't you very arrogant? Weren't you very powerful? You asked the Kong family to scram at the meeting of the aristocratic families. How about now? Have you received your retribution? Kong Mingming laughed happily when he saw Lin Yi retreating step by step. Let me tell you something. It's not time yet. Kong Mingming, you're ruthless. Where did you find such an expert? Lin Yi asked as he healed his injuries. Although Lin Yi's internal injuries were getting more and more serious, every time Lin Yi was injured, he would first repair his palms and meridians. This way, it wouldn't affect the strength of his attacks. As for the rest, Lin Yi could only grit his teeth and endure it. Where? Humph, why should I tell you? Kong Mingming was not stupid. He knew that Lin Yi was trying to get information out of him, so he wouldn't fall for it easily. He's not dead yet. Yushir-san was also a little surprised. Logically speaking, even if Lin Yi was an earth-level expert, he should be dead by now. Even if he wasn't dead, he should be so injured that he couldn't get up. How could he still talk? However, although Yushir-san was surprised, he waved his palms again and hit Lin Yi. His purpose was very simple. He wanted to help Kong Mingming get rid of Lin Yi, so he didn't need to say too much to Lin Yi. Lin Yi flew out again without any suspense, but he miraculously stood up again, this repeated 3 more times, and Yushir-san finally became a little impatient. This was because his palms were already swollen. Even if Lin Yi was an earth-level expert in the early stage, which was 2 levels lower than him, under such a high-intensity head-on situation, he still brought a certain amount of damage to Yushir-san. This made Yushir-san a little angry. He was famous for his palms, and he was also the best at using palms. However, after slapping Lin Yi so many times, he actually didn't kill Lin Yi. The most unbelievable thing was that Lin Yi's hands weren't crippled. He could still use martial arts to fight against him. Could this kid be a physical cultivator who specialized in training his hands? Thunderstorm Palm. Yushir-san attacked again in anger, but Lin Yi still countered each move as it came. After spitting out a mouthful of blood, Lin Yi's lips curled into a smile. He thought, even if I can't beat you, I still want to fight. Drops of water can still wear through a stone. As long as I work hard enough, I can grind an iron rod into a needle. Isn't your martial arts a palm technique? Alright then, I'll cripple your palms. Let's see how you're going to fight then. The reason why Lin Yi had such confidence was because Yushir-san's palms were initially unscathed, but now they were swollen. This gave Lin Yi hope. Again. Lin Yi healed his palms and meridians, stood up, and said to Yushir-san. Yushir-san was going crazy. Who the fuck is this? He's still not dead after so many hits. He clearly suffered serious internal injuries, but his hands are still fine. My palms are already swollen, and he still wants to fight again. Enraged, Yu Shisan slapped Lin Yi again, but Lin Yi welcomed it with a smile. Chapter 1745. Although Lin Yi had already suffered severe internal injuries, Lin Yi had to grit his teeth and hold on to his last breath. He knew that he couldn't fall. Once he fell, it would be over for him and Guan Xian, so Lin Yi had to fight. Every time he fell, Lin Yi told himself that he had to stand up, or else there would be nothing left. Another round of attacks began. Lin Yi endured the pain all over his body and wanted to stand up. But this time, he really couldn't stand up. He felt like his body was falling apart, and he was very sleepy and tired. He really wanted to close his eyes. In front of Lin Yi's eyes, the blood stains turned into a white light. He had an urge to be free. It was as if, behind the white light, he saw peace. That was the jade space. As long as he went to the jade space, Lin Yi would be able to rest. He wanted to walk over, whoosh. A gust of wind beside his ear suddenly woke Lin Yi up. He had almost automatically entered the space of the jade pendant. That was too dangerous. If he had really entered the space of the jade pendant, he would have definitely died today. Lin Yi bit his tongue suddenly, and the pain brought him a moment of clarity. Lin Yi suddenly stood up, raised his fists, and met Right 13's attack. Although Lin Yi seemed to be attacking with full strength every time, he was getting weaker and weaker. Fortunately, Right 13's palm wasn't Wu Qintian's palm. This time, in the loud bang, Lin Yi sharply heard the crisp sound of bones breaking. Lin Yi was a doctor, and he was exceptionally sensitive to this sound. He was immediately delighted. He saw results again. Right 13's palm must have been broken by him. This made Lin Yi, who was originally unable to hold on, excited again. Before, it was swelling, and now it was broken. If he continued like this, both of Right 13's palms would definitely be crippled. As soon as the thought popped up, Lin Yi suddenly perked up. He quickly channeled the art of dragon mastery and healed the injuries on his hands and meridians. He then stood up and looked at Right 13 with his head held high. Let's go again. Although Lin Yi's body was covered in blood and his pale face had a hint of death, Lin Yi's voice was so determined, without a hint of compromise. Although Guan Xian's mouth was sealed and she couldn't speak, her eyes weren't blindfolded. She saw every single scene of the battle between Lin Yi and Right 13. At that moment, Guan Xian's heart felt like it was being stabbed by a knife. She shook her head desperately, and tears fell like rain. She wanted to stop Lin Yi and let him escape quickly, but she couldn't make any sound. Her weak whimpers didn't have any effect at all. Guan Xian was a nurse and came from a medical family. How could she not see that Lin Yi was now a crossbow? If this continued, Lin Yi would definitely die. When Kong Mingming saw that Lin Yi was still able to get up, he immediately shouted, "Get rid of this kid." However, U13 was the only one who knew his own situation. His palms were about to be crippled by Lin Yi. He wasn't a physical cultivator. Although he used his palms weren't hard. If this continued, his hands would probably be crippled without a doubt. Although the inner sex palm was crippled, it could be recovered with some medicine and pills, unlike the outer sect, which would suffer heavy losses. However, after recovery, it would not be as flexible as before. After all, no one was like Lin Yi who could use his own mantra to heal injuries, or use true qi to heal injuries like the Sun family. Relying on medicine was still a little lacking. Moreover, once the bones in his hands were shattered, even if he relied on medicine to recover, he would still be half crippled. Unless there was medicine that was third grade and above to reconnect bones and tendons. However, how could the hidden Wright family have such medicine? It was rare even in the heavenly elixir sect. How could they give it to him? Seeing that Lin Yi stood up again, Wright 13 was annoyed. Since he became famous, he had never seen an Earth-class expert like Lin Yi who didn't care about his own life. One had to know that it was extremely difficult for an ordinary person to cultivate to Earth-class. Even if it was a battle, they would fight if they could win, and run if they couldn't. Unless there was a fatal blow, there was no room for retaliation. Now, Lin Yi clearly had many opportunities to escape. Wright 13 was even thinking that if Lin Yi ran, he wouldn't chase after him. However, Lin Yi didn't run. He stood up again and again to fight with him. This made Wright 13 feel helpless. He wanted to curse out loud. Did you think it was easy for you to cultivate to Earth class? Did you have to fight to your death and cripple me before you stopped? However, seeing Lin Yi's firm tone and determined gaze, Wright 13 knew that this guy was playing with his life. The soft feared the hard feared the unreasonable, and the unreasonable feared the reckless. This saying was also applicable among cultivators. Seeing that Lin Yi still wanted to come again, Wright 13 was really a little afraid. Although he was confident that he could kill Lin Yi, the price he would have to pay was too high. He had no enmity with Lin Yi and was only here to help. If he killed Lin Yi, he wouldn't get any benefits. Instead, he would have to pay the price of crippling his palms. It was obvious which was more important. Therefore, when he thought of this, Wright 13 retreated a little. He was different from Kong Ming. Whether Lin Yi died or not had nothing to do with him. Young Master Kong, this person is crazy. Let's go. Once the thought of retreating arose, Wright 13 didn't want to tangle with Lin Yi anymore. His palms were his, and there was no need to lose them just to curry favor with Kong Ming. Besides, now that he had the pill recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, his mission was considered complete. When he returned to the Yu family, Wright Jintian wouldn't blame him. At most, the Kong family would have some complaints. Go. Kong Ming was taken aback. He didn't expect that Wright 13, who had the upper hand and was forcing Lin Yi to retreat, would suddenly want to leave. However, Wright 13 didn't answer. Instead, he flew over and picked up Kong Ming. Although his hands were in pain and he really didn't want to run away with a person, if he left Kong Ming here, the Yu family would inevitably be criticized by others. They would say that the Yu family got rid of the donkey when it was no longer of use. If that happened, who would work for the Yu family in the future? Take her away too. Kong Ming wasn't willing to fail just like that. How could he let Guan Xian go so easily before he got the recipe? One more person wasn't a difficult thing for Wright 13. Since he had already brought one up, there was no need for a second. However, just as Wright 13's hand was about to grab Guan Xian, he suddenly felt a strong gust of wind coming at him from behind. Put her down. Lin Yi waved his fists and rushed at Wright 13 as if his life depended on it. Target equals _blank. Chapter 1746. His life hangs by a thread. Chapter 1751. His life hangs by a thread. It could be said that Lin Yi's entire body was full of openings, but this kind of reckless madness made Yu Shisan shudder. He subconsciously let go of Guan Xian and suddenly met Lin Yi with his palm. Bang! There was a loud noise as Lin Yi's fists collided with Yu Shisan's palm again. Every time they collided, Lin Yi suffered a fatal blow. Now that Lin Yi was like a crossbow, this palm almost made Lin Yi spit out his organs. However, Lin Yi did not compromise. He gritted his teeth, endured the pain in his body, and forcefully took the palm. His mouth was full of blood, but he said firmly, you can leave, but if you take her away, I'll fight you to the death. Yushir-san was really afraid of Lin Yi. This time, he clearly felt that the degree of fracture in his palm was much greater than before. Although he could kill Lin Yi if he continued to fight, what was the point of killing him? What if his palm was crippled? Yushir-san glanced at Lin Yi, took a deep breath, and quickly left the place with Kong Ming without saying a word. As for Guan Xian, he was not in the mood to catch her. It was not worth it to compete with a lunatic like Lin Yi. Lin Yi's somewhat thin figure stood there and watched Yushir-san leave. When he was far away, he suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. That was close. Lin Yi thought to himself. The only thing that kept him going was his willpower. If he were to fall, then both he and Guan Xian would be done for, so he gritted his teeth and persevered. He could see Yushir-san's concerns, and so he fought him with his life on the line. Fortunately, Yushir-san couldn't take it anymore, so he gave up. Lin Yi gritted his teeth, tore the ropes on Guan Xian's body, and tore the seal on her mouth. Lin Yi. Guan Xian cried out as tears streamed down her cheeks. Lin Yi waved his hand and interrupted Guan Xian, I can't hold on much longer, Tang Yun's car is just outside the door, under the shade of the tree. After that, Lin Yi fell to the ground. This time, Lin Yi could no longer stand up because Lin Yi was sure that Right 13 had left, so he had no scruples in his heart and could no longer hold on. Apart from his palms, there was not a single part of his body that was not injured. The moment he fainted, Lin Yi also entered the space of the jade pendant. Phew! Lin Yi could finally breathe a sigh of relief. As long as he didn't lose his life, there was a possibility of recovery. After entering the space of the jade pendant, Lin Yi felt a wave of lingering fear. This time, he almost lost his life. It was a complete fluke that Lin Yi was able to escape. First of all, Right 13 did not know Lin Yi's background. Seeing Lin Yi stand up again and again, he was scared by Lin Yi's madness. However, Lin Yi knew that if the person he met today was not Right 13, but someone who had a deep hatred for him, it would definitely not be easy today. Also, if Right 13 did not practice martial arts that only relied on his palms, if he supplemented it with martial arts that relied on his legs or weapons, then it would be useless for Lin Yi even if he risked his life today. All along, Lin Yi had been conceited that he could fight opponents who were of a higher level than him. He relied on his trump card of condensing chi. This trump card allowed Lin Yi to be successful in every endeavor. Even when facing masters who were stronger than him, he was still calm. However, today, it made Lin Yi feel deeply frustrated. Above the earth stage, it was completely different. If the opponent had martial arts and started fighting as soon as they came up, then Lin Yi would have no advantage at all. He could only rely on his hot-bloodedness to fight with the opponent. This time, he was lucky. Next time, he might die. For the first time, Lin Yi had a deep desire and expectation for martial arts. Without martial arts to compete with the opponent, it was difficult for him to move forward. But to find a martial technique that was suitable for him to cultivate, it was even more difficult. Lin Yi had not touched the essence of Faubert's martial arts. He only cultivated it roughly. If he really fought with the opponent, he would definitely be at a disadvantage. Just like today, if it was not for Lin Yi's ability to quickly recover from his injuries, he would have died long ago. The art of dragon mastery must have the existence of a martial arts technique that went with it. Only a martial arts technique that was compatible with the mantra could exert the greatest effect. This was also the reason why Faubert did not advise Lin Yi to casually cultivate martial arts. Right now, Lin Yi could not wait to return home. He wanted to open the second layer of the stone door. He wanted to see what kind of benefits awaited him behind the second layer of the stone door. It would be best if there was a powerful martial arts technique that could solve Lin Yi's current problem. As for Jiao Yazi, Lin Yi was too lazy to ask. At the moment, his memory had not been unlocked, so Lin Yi could not get any information from him. What he wanted to know, he already knew. There was no need to ask anymore. Therefore, the first thing Lin Yi did after entering the space of the jade pendant was to cultivate. Guan Xian looked at Lin Yi on the ground. For a moment, she did not know what to do. But when she remembered Lin Yi's last sentence, she hurriedly carried Lin Yi on her back. She did not know where a weak girl like her got her strength from. Although Lin Yi was not heavy, it was still a bit of a stretch for Guan Xian. But Guan Xian did it, and did it without any pressure at all. She even forgot about Lin Yi's weight. She only had one thought in her mind, and that was to be moved. Deeply moved. She never would have thought that Lin Yi would risk his life to save her. All this while, although Guan Xian had a crush on Lin Yi did not respond to her at all. He only treated her as a friend. This made Guan Xian feel a little disappointed. But at this moment, Guan Xian realized how important she was to Lin Yi. Lin Yi's strength was obviously not as strong as Wuxia San, but Lin Yi risked his life to save her. Guan Xian really did not know how to repay Lin Yi. She only knew that if Lin Yi was fine, she could even die in his place. Looking at Lin Yi's dying body, Guan Xian was scared. She was really scared. She was afraid that she would never see Lin Yi again. She would feel guilty for the rest of her life. Guan Xian quickly ran out of the arena with Lin Yi on her back. Kong Mingming's car was long gone. Guan Xian looked around and saw a Jeep Cherokee under the shade of a tree not far away. It must be Lin Yi's car. The people in the car saw Guan Xian coming out with Lin Yi on her back and quickly got out of the car. Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu were also very anxious. They saw that Wuxia San drove away with Kong Mingming and Lin Yi didn't come out for a long time. They were worried, but Lin Yi told them not to go and check. They could only wait patiently. #target=_blank. Chapter 1747. Chapter 1752, Apology. But when they saw Guan Xian coming out of the arena with Lin Yi on her back, they couldn't hold it in anymore and ran over to her. Lin Yi. Tang Yun couldn't help but scream when she saw Guan Xian's unconscious body covered in blood. What? What's wrong with him? He got hurt trying to save me. Guan Xian's tears hadn't dried yet, and she couldn't hold it in anymore. Meng Yao and the others didn't look too good after hearing Guan Xian's words. How could they be happy that Lin Yi had gotten so heavily injured just to save Guan Xian? Tang Yun had always thought of Guan Xian as a love rival, and she wasn't as close to her as she was to Meng Yao. Meng Yao and Yushu, on the other hand, didn't like Guan Xian at all. Lin Yi got hurt in the bank because of her, and now he was doing it again. Give me Lin Yi. Meng Yao didn't want Guan Xian to carry Lin Yi anymore. We rushed back from the journey for you, and Lin Yi got hurt like this. Tang Yun's face darkened as well, but she still spoke up. Forget it, Yao Yao. This isn't the time to talk about responsibility. Let's get Lin Yi home first. Aren't we going to the hospital? Guan Xian was surprised. No need. Meng Yao said coldly. She didn't know why, but Meng Yao wasn't happy. What was the relationship between Lin Yi and Guan Xian? Why would he risk his life to save her? But Meng Yao felt like she was the eunuch panicking instead of the emperor. Tang Yun didn't say anything, so why was she panicking? Right, she was fighting for Tang Yun. That's it, Meng Yao thought. Guan Xian could see Meng Yao's hostility towards her, and she didn't know what to do. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Guan Xian was worried about Lin Yi, and now she couldn't hold it in anymore. She was worried about Lin Yi too, and she didn't want Lin Yi to be like this. But she couldn't say anything, and she couldn't stop them. Alright, Guan Xian sis, we're not blaming you. Tang Yun knew that as long as Lin Yi wasn't dead, there was hope for him to recover. This had happened many times in the past, so she wasn't too worried about him. Seeing that Lin Yi was still breathing, her tone became better. Yao Yao is also very anxious, but he came to save you. It was his own decision, you don't need to feel too guilty. Meng Yao rolled her eyes at Tang Yun's words. I'm fighting for you, and you're soft-hearted again. But Tang Yun was soft-hearted, and Meng Yao knew that Xiao Xiao wouldn't have become Lin Yi's small wife if it weren't for that, and she and Yushu wouldn't have allowed Lin Yi to stay in the villa. And so Meng Yao didn't say anything else. She was a soft-hearted person, and after hearing Tang Yun's words, she realized that it was Lin Yi's decision to save Guan Xian, so it wasn't Guan Xian's fault. Meng Yao put Lin Yi in the car, and the driver was Guan Xuemin's house. She wasn't too happy with Guan Xian, but Lin Yi was in a situation like this, and Xuemin was the only one who could save him if something happened to him. Lin Yi could heal himself, but he was worried that accidents might happen. I'm sorry. It's all my fault, I got kidnapped. Guan Xian said guiltily. It's nothing. My attitude just now wasn't very good, I'm sorry. Meng Yao didn't want to put Lin Yi in a difficult position, so she didn't say anything. She was different from Tang Yun, who'd interacted with Guan Xian a couple of times, but Meng Yao and Guan Xian were just acquaintances. Lin Yi can heal himself, but we'll have to ask your grandpa to check if there's anything else. Tang Yun explained. Of course, we'll do our best. Guan Xian nodded. I don't think it's necessary, Shield Bro's looking better and better, he's probably healing himself now. Yushu had been paying attention to Lin Yi's changes on the road. Oh. That's great. Tang Yun turned around to look at Lin Yi, and as expected, Lin Yi looked much better than before. Tang Yun let out a breath of relief. Guan Xian's tense heart relaxed after hearing Yushu's words. As long as Lin Yi was fine, everything was fine. Otherwise, she'd die of guilt for the rest of her life. Guan Xuemin was happy when he heard that his granddaughter was fine, but he was shocked when he heard that Lin Yi was on the verge of death. He rushed out of the villa and looked at Lin Yi with a serious expression. Is it that serious? Grandpa Guan, Lin Yi can heal himself, he should be fine now, don't worry too much. Tang Yun was very polite to Guan Xuemin. She knew that he was Lin Yi's business partner, so he was also Lin Yi's elder. We came here to wait and see. If there are any other problems, we'll ask for your help. After all, Lin Yi's injury is the most serious this time, okay? Guan Xuemin didn't find it strange that Lin Yi could heal himself. Lin Yi was a doctor, and a miracle doctor at that. It wasn't strange that he could heal himself, but it was the first time Guan Xuemin heard that he could heal himself by lying down. However, Lin Yi was a practitioner, and he couldn't be judged by common sense. Guan Xuemin quickly helped Tang Yun and the others move Lin Yi to the villa. After settling Lin Yi, Meng Yao and the others sat in the living room, and the atmosphere became a little awkward. Although Tang Yun said that she didn't blame Guan Xian on the way here, Guan Xian still felt uncomfortable. Lin Yi suffered so much for her, and she didn't know how to repay Lin Yi. For a girl, especially a beautiful girl, repaying a hero with her body was the best way to repay a hero. It sounded a little cliché, but it was a principle that never changed. The hero saved the beauty, and the beauty loved the hero. In Guan Xian's heart, she had a good impression of Lin Yi. But now, even if Guan Xian wanted to repay him with her body, Tang Yun wouldn't agree. Guan Xian was older, after all, and had been working for quite some time. She had more experience in society than Tang Yun and the others, and she could tell with one look that Meng Yao and Yushu were interested in Lin Yi. Of course, they could also be good friends. Guan Xian was just a woman's intuition. Tang Yun, I've troubled Lin Yi this time. Because of my family's matters, I've caused him to get injured, I'm really sorry. Guan Shuamin sighed and said, I'd like to apologize for delaying your trip. Hashtag. Chapter 1748. Chapter 1753, Wake up, Grandpa Guan, you're exaggerating. Tang Yin stood up in a panic. Guan Xian is Lin Yi's good friend, and this was Lin Yi's decision as well. You don't need to explain to us, Lin Yi's decision is one we support. Besides, didn't we get out of danger this time? Although Lin Yi's injuries are quite serious, he can still recover on his own. Meng Yao and Yushu were a little embarrassed by the words, and Meng Yao added in. Yeah, Lin Yi's always been a hot-blooded man to his friends. When Shu and I were kidnapped, he was the one who risked his life to protect us. The misunderstanding and awkwardness between the two disappeared in an instant. Thinking about it, Lin Yi got injured when he helped Tang Yin, and when he saved Meng Yao and Shu. This was Lin Yi's personality, and it wasn't worth it to hurt their relationship. The only thing they could do now was wait for Lin Yi to wake up. Lin Yi was lying on the bed, but he knew what was going on outside. He let out a sigh of relief when he heard that the people outside were no longer arguing about him. It was indeed dangerous this time, and Lin Yi would have to think twice if something like this happened again in the future. A battle between Earth-class masters was different from a mystic class. Once they used their techniques, the situation would be different. If Lin Yi were to be as impulsive as before, he'd definitely be at a disadvantage. With the idea of opening the second stone door, Lin Yi couldn't wait to return home. He worked hard to heal his injuries, but Lin Yi's injuries were too serious this time. Even though Lin Yi was an Earth class now, and his recovery speed was much faster than when he was a mystic class, it still took him 1 day and 1 night to fully recover. When Lin Yi came out of the space of the jade pendant, it was already the evening of the next day. Meng Yao, Yushu, Tang Yun, Guan Shuamin, and Guan Xian didn't sleep at all. They had ordered takeout during the day, but Lin Yi didn't wake up. No one had an appetite, so the food was piled up on the coffee table. However, after a night of not resting, everyone was exhausted. Therefore, they closed their eyes and rested, but they didn't fall asleep. Lin Yi walked out of the living room and saw everyone in the living room. He couldn't help but feel warm in his heart. There's so much delicious food. Haven't you eaten? Are they all waiting for me? I'm starving. If you don't eat, I'll eat it all. Lin Yi? You're awake. Guan Xian was the one who felt the most guilty. She didn't understand Lin Yi the most. Tang Yun and Meng Yao both said that Lin Yi was fine, and that he could recover on his own. But Guan Xian wasn't so sure. Even when she was resting, she was still worried. When she heard Lin Yi's voice, she was the first to jump up. She looked at Lin Yi in surprise. You're fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Lin Yi smiled bitterly as he looked at his bloody clothes. Let's eat something first, then take a shower and change my clothes. You guys don't mind, do you? Of course not. Guan Xian looked at the energetic Lin Yi and shook her head excitedly. See, I told you that Shield Bro was fine. He's the best. Yushu had been the calmest person from the start. She had an inexplicable confidence in Lin Yi. Are we going to find Kong Mingming for revenge now? Revenge. Of course we will, but not now. Lin Yi's eyes sharpened. He didn't know why House Kong had invited an Earth class. He didn't know what their relationship was with House Kong. Even if Lin Yi wanted to take revenge, he had to think twice. He was lucky enough to escape this time, but he wouldn't be so lucky if he was surrounded by 2 or more Earth-class masters. Shoo, don't talk nonsense. Lin Yi knows what he's doing. Meng Yao didn't want Yushu to get into trouble. It's fine, Lin Yi smiled. He picked up a drumstick and started eating. Right, Xian, who's that Earth-class master? Did Kong Ming mention him before? He didn't. Guan Xian thought about it carefully and shook her head. That master seemed to be a man of few words. He didn't speak at all. He only responded a few times when Kong Xiaoming talked to him, but he didn't address him as well. Lin Yi nodded. It seemed like he wouldn't be able to get any useful information from Guan Xian. He could only try to find out from the side. Elder Guan, let's keep a low profile for the company. I'll talk to Fatty Lai. We shouldn't have any conflicts with House Kong for now. We'll talk about it when I come back. Lin Yi's trip back to his hometown this time was to bring Tang Yun and Meng Yao on a vacation. But in reality, it was to open the second stone door. As a result, Lin Yi couldn't allow any mishaps. He wouldn't be able to take care of Songshan's situation when he got to West Star Village. The medical company, on the other hand, kept a low profile for now. As long as they didn't have any conflicts with House Kong, there shouldn't be any problems. After all, House Kong had gotten the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. It would be extremely difficult for them to develop the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. If they focused all their energy on this, they wouldn't have the time to cause trouble for Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company. This gave Lin Yi some breathing space. As long as he could catch his breath, he'd be able to turn the tables and wash away the humiliation he'd suffered. After all, Lin Yi was very confident in the second stage of the art of dragon mastery. The first stage was already very overpowered. How strong would the second stage be? I understand, Yi. Don't worry, we won't act rashly when you're not here, Guan Shuamin said. Alright, let's eat. It was a close shave this time. Yun, Yao Yao, Shu, what's with your faces? Lin Yi said as he ate. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief when they saw that Lin Yi was fine. They were starting to feel hungry, and so they started eating with Lin Yi, inside House Kang's villa. Yu Xintian came and sat in the main seat in the living room. Behind him was Yu Shisan. Opposite him was House Kang's old man, Dr. Kong. Behind Dr. Kong was Kong Ming. The cooperation between House Yu and House Kong was quite successful. Although Yu Shisan was injured in the end, they got the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. I thought it was some good stuff. Turns out it's just a recipe for an injury medicine and a painkiller. Do you guys have to be like this? When Yu Xintian found out that Kong Ming wanted these 2 recipes, he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Hashtag. Chapter 1749. This. Dr. Kong was stunned. So was Kong Ming. I wouldn't have asked Right Shisan to help you if I knew it was this kind of prescription. I didn't expect Lin Yi to be so desperate. If it wasn't for Right Shisan's decisiveness in retreating, Lin Yi would have been crippled even if he had to kill him. Yu Xintian couldn't help but shake his head when he heard the situation. He really didn't expect Lin Yi to be like that. Yeah, it's a good thing Lin Yi didn't come and obediently hand over the prescription for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Otherwise, he would have come at us with his life. We might have gotten nothing. Kong Ming was still fearful after understanding what happened. At that time, he was still wondering why Right Shisan ran away after gaining the upper hand. So there was more to it. Young master you mean? Dr. Kong asked carefully. If you want the formula for injury medicine and analgesics, our Yu family has it too. Yu Xintian said arrogantly. This is the most basic prescription. Do you need to take such a risk? I could have given it to you earlier. Why bother? You have it. Dr. Kong was startled, then his face lit up with joy. Of course. It's normal for us martial artists to treat injuries and relieve pain, Enchanted nodded. But Miracle Dr. Guan's medicine company's injury medicine and painkillers are not only effective, but they're also cheap. Kong Ming Ming said, we have the prescription for golden creation too, but it's expensive. It's not competitive at all. That's easy. You want the cheaper one, right? We also have a golden creation prescription that's slightly lower in quality. It's quite cheap. Your bottle only costs a few yuan. It's the same for the painkillers too, you can get it for a few yuan. Yu Zhentian said, of course, the effect won't be as miraculous as yours. Your golden creation can stop bleeding in a few seconds. Mine takes more than 10 seconds. His painkillers take effect immediately, but mine takes a few minutes. Is there a problem with that? No problem. There's no problem at all. Dr. Kong was overjoyed and said, who can feel such a small difference in effectiveness? Even if there is a gap, our prices are cheap, and we can still occupy a certain market share. This time, we must take back the market share that we have lost. Thank you, young master Yu. Kong Ming Ming also expressed his gratitude. That's nothing much. It's just a small matter. Oh right, since you guys are in the medical business, we can entrust you to sell some of our elixirs in the future. This way, not only will you guys earn a reputation, you will also have money. Since Right Zhentian had obtained the elixir formula, he was naturally very generous to the Kong family. Thank you so much. Kong Ming Ming said excitedly, in the future, our Kong family will rely on the Yu family. For the Yu family and the Kong family, this cooperation was a win-win situation. Both sides had obtained the benefits they wanted. As for Lin Yi, he was ready to embark on his journey again. Elder Guan, Xin, will be leaving now. We won't disturb you anymore. If there's anything, call us anytime. Lin Yi and the others finished their lunch and were ready to leave. Okay, be careful on the road. Guan Shuamin said. Guan Xian stood at the side, wanting to say something but hesitating. She wanted to say something, but she couldn't because Tang Yun and Meng Yao were there. Xin, what do you want to say? Lin Yi saw Guan Xian's strange expression and asked. Guan Xian pursed her lips, not knowing what to say. Yun, Yao, Shu, wait for me in the car. Lin Yi saw that Guan Xian didn't want to say it in front of others, so he ordered. Okay. Tang Yun wasn't jealous. Since Lin Yi saved Guan Xian, it was enough to show how important Guan Xian was in Lin Yi's heart. However, the two hadn't developed into a couple yet, so Tang Yun wasn't too worried. If they wanted to develop, they would have done so long ago. It wasn't something that could be changed in a short period of time. If they really wanted to develop, she wouldn't be able to stop it. Meng Yao and Yushu didn't say anything. From their point of view, Guan Xian probably wanted to say some words of thanks in private, so they got in the car with Tang Yun. Can you say it now? Lin Yi smiled. Guan Xian blushed, a little embarrassed. I'm going to quit my job soon to study more advanced medical knowledge. I won't be able to see you before I leave, so I wanted to say goodbye in advance. Oh. You've made up your mind. Lin Yi knew about Guan Xian. Yes, I'll be leaving in a few days, Guan Xian said. Study hard and improve every day. Lin Yi wanted to encourage Guan Xian, but that was all he could think of. Guan Xian couldn't help but smile. I'm not a kid anymore, of course I'll work hard, that's a good thing, and it's also one of Grandpa Guan's wishes, Lin Yi said. Yeah. Lin Yi, I'm going to study, it might be pretty strict. I don't think I'll have time to come back often. We won't be able to see each other often. Guan Xian lowered her head, a little embarrassed. After a while, she mustered up all her courage and said, "Wait for me to come back, I'll be your assistant for sure." Lin Yi paused, then smiled, "Okay, I'll wait for you." Medical knowledge was only a support to Lin Yi. It was what Lin Yi was after, but since Guan Xian had this thought, he didn't want to discourage her. N. Guan Xian nodded, then, "Goodbye, have a safe journey." "Okay." Lin Yi didn't say anything else and got in the car. As for what Guan Xian and Lin Yi talked about, Tang Yun and the others didn't ask. Everyone had their own thoughts, and asking too much would make it seem like they didn't trust Lin Yi. Before she left, Meng Yao gave Peng Zhan a call. She hadn't gone home yet, and while it was only halfway through, she still had to let her family know. "Hello. Yao Yao, what do you need from Daddy?" Peng Zhan's voice sounded very excited after the call was connected, as if he had found something good. "Daddy, something happened on the way, so we came back. We're in Songshan now, we haven't left yet. Where are you? Should we go see you?" Meng Yao asked. "I'm busy at the company, so don't come. Go have fun, I've been too busy lately, I can't spend time with you guys." Peng Zhan said. On the other side of the phone, someone was saying something to Peng Zhan. "That's fine, Daddy, take care of yourself, don't overwork yourself." Meng Yao reminded. Chapter 1750. Don't worry, Daddy's big project is starting to pay off. It's only been a few days, and the company's cash flow has more than doubled. Ha! Peng Zhan couldn't help but laugh as he spoke. All right. Congratulations. Meng Yao didn't know much about the company's operations, but earning money was a good thing after all. All right, Yao Yao, enjoy yourself, Daddy needs to do something, there's something I need to do here. Peng Zhan said. Okay, bye Daddy. Meng Yao hung up and shook her head. She turned to Lin Yi, let's go, Daddy's too busy, he doesn't have time. Lin Yi wanted to say something, but he didn't say anything after some hesitation. He didn't know much about business, but he'd overheard Meng Yao's conversation from the sidelines. It didn't make sense for a company like Peng Zhan to be able to double their capital in such a short amount of time. Peng Zhan Industries wasn't a tech company, they didn't have any inventions, so there was no way they could double their capital in such a short amount of time. But Peng Zhan was a veteran in the business world, and he shouldn't make any mistakes. Peng Zhan Industries received a call from An Mingyue just as he hung up. Broen, how's it going? Peng Zhan asked. Huh, congratulations, we've earned another 10% from our investment. An Mingyue said proudly. No way. We earned that much again. Peng Zhan said, surprised. Of course, this trader is a master Jiang Wen met when he was studying abroad, he's quite familiar with the futures market. An Mingyue said, if he hadn't offended someone overseas, he wouldn't have come to me, then. Should we increase our investment? Peng Zhan asked, a little tempted. Forget it, it's just for fun. We all have our own businesses, it's fine. An Mingyue said, plus, Bro Chu, do you still have money? All your businesses are real estate, right? That's true. I'll think about it. Peng Zhan said, a little regretful. Okay, that's all for now, I'll let you know if there's any news. An Mingyue said. Alright, thanks for the trouble, bro, and Peng Zhan said quickly. After hanging up, An Mingyue gave Jiang Wen a thumbs up. Jiang Wen, that's a good idea. You've tricked Chu. Peng Zhan step by step, and it's just as you expected, he's going to invest more, of course. Who wouldn't be tempted by such a huge profit? Jiang Wen said. Let's wait a bit longer. We'll provoke him a bit more in a couple of days, I think he'll act up soon. But what if he stops while he's ahead? Won't we lose money? And Mingyue was a little worried. After all, it was all just a story and Mingyue had made up, and the money Pengzhan had brought over was still in Mingyue's company account, and Mingyue had only told Pengzhan about it when she saw that it was making money. Don't worry, father. The hypnotist has already given him a hint. He'll go crazy for sure. Jiang Wen said without worry. At that time, the entire Pengzhan Industries will be ours. I'm relieved now that you've said that. And Mingyue nodded. On this day, Lin Yi and the others arrived at a small town near the highway. They were planning to eat and stay for the night. They were getting closer and closer to West Star Village. Lin Yi didn't travel day and night. He was a practitioner, but Tang Yun and the others weren't. They wouldn't be able to rest well in the car, and they'd be very tired the next day. Plus, they'd stayed at various small towns, and they'd stroll around the town's market at night. This was also Mengyao and Yushu's first time on a road trip. They used to travel a lot, but they didn't know how to drive, so they'd never experienced this kind of stop-and-go experience. At night, they had dinner near the Express Hotel, and as usual, they went to the town's night market. There weren't many shops in the town, only a huge market. Here, they could buy all sorts of things. Mengyao and the others lived in a big city, so they hadn't experienced it before. However, this place wasn't too different from a night market. Of course, the market mostly sold local products and daily necessities. It wasn't like the city's night market that sold snacks and trinkets. As for local specialties, they no longer bought any. The trunk of the car was already full. Originally, they planned to buy some local specialties every time they went to a place, but as they bought and bought, they unknowingly had too much. If they bought any more, they would not be able to fit it all. So, they were just here to watch. I heard that the bastard hunted today and killed a legendary Black Phoenix. Black Phoenix? I think it's wild. Who knows? But the price is so high, only an idiot would buy it. Yeah, even if it's a phoenix, it can't fly after eating it. You only know how to eat. He killed it, what else can it do other than eat? That's true. Lin Yi and the others were walking around the market looking at the local specialties when they overheard two stall owners talking at a nearby stall. Out of curiosity, Lin Yi asked casually, "What's a black phoenix?" Who knows? I heard it's a black phoenix, a spirit beast in the dark night mountain. Of course, it's just a legend. I think it's a black chicken. The stall owner answered casually. Oh. Lin Yi was just asking casually, but when he heard it was a spirit beast, his heart skipped a beat. Spirit beast? What's that? Is it like those animals in the novels that can fly? Spirit beast? I don't know what a spirit beast is, but the older generation said that there are spirit beasts on this mountain, but they're very rare. It said that drinking their blood can prolong one's life. The stall owner said, "As for what you're talking about, I've never heard of it." Okay, thank you. Lin Yi nodded. Shield bro, are you going to see that black phoenix? Yushu guessed Lin Yi's intention when she saw him stand up. Yeah, I want to join in the fun. Lin Yi didn't say it clearly. It's over there. You guys can go take a look, but that thing, hee, only an idiot would buy it. The stall owner pointed at a direction in the market. Lin Yi didn't say anything else. He brought Tang Yun and the others to the direction the stall owner pointed to. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.